on. That is like.
Zildjian Live featuring myself on drums, and here is the Crayola Sec Harsh Reality with Harshmed, myself. Special guest tonight, Mr. Julio Venegas, and of course, as always, Junior from the Mosh Pit. And here we are. It's Tuesday night. It's a wonderful night. Most of us are still breathing, I think, at this point, but I'm not sure. It's only Tuesday. So I guess by Wednesday, we'll know if we are like down a person or not. I'm hoping.
Well, all I know is today, instead of our usual intro, we should be having a ceremony for Homegrown's latest artist, Homegrown Zone, CSHR Zone, going to be on stage at Homegrown, one of the biggest festivals in the area, on July 29th, with the band coming up, our guy, Julio Venegas.
Hell yeah. Congratulations.
Round of applause, everybody.
Congratulations. That is actually a major feat. If you're listening live right now, please share out. If you're on the show itself, please share to your pages and respectfully and get this thing moving.
All right. So we, instead of our usual intro, we just had to bring that up because I think it's a very important milestone that us at CSHR Radio have one of our own
in Homegrown
performing at Homegrown.
Wait, I need to say something. Can I butt in real quick?
Absolutely.
We need to back up. Did I hear correctly Scott say that intro song that we opened up with, that was him on drums?
Yes, you did.
Oh my God, Scott. That is a groovy beat. Can you tell me about the history?
Not really, because I'm a hired gun, so I just kind of play whatever they tell me to play, and it's anything between heavy metal and country. So if they tell me that's what they want, that's what I play.
Right. Oh.
So
and in a few years, Scott will be coming up with his own country music album called "Even Trolls Have Feelings." So
Jesus Christ. No, I will. That will only happen if I get ridiculously drunk one day and forget who I am. Like what happened? He started recording country music. I don't know. We're actually putting him in a mental institution this afternoon. That type of thing. Because I really do not like country. Country's like the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
Is it the twang in their voices?
No, it's not that. It's because it's not country really anymore. And all it is like pop music. All it is really pop music that they add a steel guitar and a violin to, and they go, "Oh, this is country music." No, it's not.
Yeah.
Britney Spears, calm the fuck down. It's pop music.
It's commercialized. It has been very heavily commercialized.
The only thing that is a constant is pickup trucks, beer, and somebody losing a girlfriend or some weird shit. That's the only constants with country music. Other than that, it's just commercialized garbage. Oh, and gravel roads. They have to be some type of gravel road in the song in order for it to be country. So, you could take a 90s pop song and just, change a few lyrics around. Put in something about somebody's truck breaking down on a gravel road while his girlfriend leaves him and he's drunk off for Bud Light or some shit. And boom, there's a country song.
Yeah, there it is.
I mean, it's all
I
the
kind of,
same shit now. There's
I
no
kind of feel
originality.
that I've done that with in a way with Johnny Cash's Folsom Prison. I have I I throw it, I give it more of a popish tone, and it's not like
And
intentional. It's just
but
kind of like what happened.
well,
And
but that's different in the sense that you are giving it your spin. I'm talking about like just today's country is just it's
yeah,
commercialized repetitive garbage. That's all it is.
yeah,
You know, hip hop is suffering from that now too. At this point,
yeah.
Yeah.
you know, it's
I
all the
think
same shit. It's all the same auto tune. It's all the same doing their whole fucking song. You know, I mean, it's never. Yeah, you know, I mean,
you
it's
know,
all of it's the
Mumble rapping.
same now. Yeah, all of it's the fucking same now.
it's
All of it.
mumble rap. It's like
I mean, if I wanted to listen to shit like that, I'd go fall down a flight of stairs and make the same sound. You know,
I think it's a lot of these genre. I mean, hip hop and rap have suffered from that because one, it's become too commercialized, and two, a lot of the secrets of it have been exposed.
well,
It's
yeah.
like
I mean,
when people had this idea that rap had this idea of it of the facade of it existing, where it was quote unquote real gangster, tough, and all that stuff, or people
and
are
it's
living the
not
lives they're
even.
living. That'd be one thing, but when
But
everything got
that's not even
exposed as
what
it being
rap
all fake as
started
fuck,
out.
it's like, what's the point?
Rap didn't even start that way, and that's the horrible part. Rap started
Yeah,
as spoken word poetry.
yeah,
Yeah,
You know, that somebody put music behind it and it was like, oh, this fits. You know, that's what it was. That's what it was originally intended. It was an art form.
right.
It's not an art form anymore. You
yeah,
Right.
know,
Because but even when it was an art form, people are being real and true and honest with themselves.
exactly.
And then you had the gangster rap facade where people pretended to be real and honest and true. And once that onion layer was peeled back, well, rap basically became like wrestling, except less entertaining.
yeah.
I mean,
That's a great
and then
analogy or great comparison.
the bad thing about it is rock is still being progressive. Although I don't like a lot of it anymore, but I mean, it's still being progressive. It's still changing. It's still evolving. Has been for as long as I can remember. I still say, for any intents and purposes, that the '90s was the heyday for rock, really and truthfully. But that's my personal opinion. Uh, but on the other hand, it's still evolving. Other genres of music are still evolving. Rap and
Yeah,
country are no longer evolving. They really aren't. Even pop music is not evolving anymore. You know, I
you
mean,
know,
it's
yeah,
Yeah, but was pop music ever evolving? It just seems like pop music was bouncing between like new wave, new jacks wave, and some
in a
other
an
new
adult
wave era, not
contemporary.
some other shit.
I would
Like
say
new
adult
jack swing,
contemporary.
new wave, and all that other nonsense. I don't think it ever and like whatever synthesizer was actually producing decent beats. I don't think pop was ever like
No, but you know, it was more adult contemporary when we were younger, honestly. Adult contemporary, that is a genre that is just very confusing, and I'd like to know the adults that are actually listening to it in order to call it adult contemporary,
mm,
because some of it is extremely scary.
yeah. Well, all I know is that a lot of that music, I wouldn't even from like 30, 40 years ago, I don't even consider classics really.
But what's bad is when you're listening to a classic rock station and you start hearing shit that you used to listen to when you were a teenager. That's where I'm at in life right now.
Yeah.
all right. I got one for you, Scott.
What's that?
Um, Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, yeah, they're pretty cool.
What do you? Yeah, what's your take on them? They sound. They have the Led Zeppelin sound to the T, and they've
They
even like.
do, but the only bad thing about that is how far can you go into something like that before you start sounding like the original band, and you
Well,
kind of lose your
it is.
originality that way.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
they sound that way, but they're still doing their own thing, so it's okay right now. But what if they fall into that rut?
Right.
You have to
Well,
be
and
careful with things
yeah.
like that.
In an interview, the singer was saying that it wasn't intentional that he sounded like that. He said it just came from just his natural way of singing. Now he was a Led Zeppelin fanatic or influenced. He was influenced by Led Zeppelin music wise, growing up. But yeah, the perception that they sound like Zeppelin, a lot of it comes from the people that are just holding
Right.
their
Well,
own opinion about that.
but if you listen to
That's an
them,
interesting place to be in, as an
yeah,
artist. I
yeah,
mean,
it is. To be compared to
oh,
one of the powerhouse groups from back in the 70s is one thing.
yeah,
And then to top it off, they're still doing their own thing, so they still have their own music. He just ironically sounds a lot like Robert Plant.
yeah.
It's not like it was intentional, it just happened that way. But at the same time, if they slip into that structure to where they start making music that sounds very similar to Zeppelin, then they've hit a wall.
Yeah.
If they go
And
back to the
yeah.
vintage sounding guitars and stuff like that, then they're basically a cover band with original pieces. And that's something you have to be careful with.
They they got the stamp of approval from Robert Plant. I think there was a little bit of just like him being thrown off, just how new it was at the time. But over time, he ended up Robert Plant himself. If I'm not mistaken, I saw in an interview that he said, "Yeah, he's good to go. He's got my support. And
Right.
that's a blessing right there to be
Yeah.
able to
That's
be told.
actually a very large accomplishment.
Right.
But then again, there you go into that cover era again because, oh, well, you sound like me. I'm going to go ahead and give you my well blessings. But I'm not you, dude.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's why I said they're going to have to be careful or they will wind up in a rut before it's over with.
The perception changes on both sides, like from the fan, from the listener, and the artist. Like there's a big gap in terms of like really knowing the background. And there's what you see in the media, which is not even half of the story of like the actuality of what's going on, that what
Right.
makes up the person, because what we see on things like this, it's just like 1% of the totality of our personality, of our beliefs, of our values.
Oh,
Where I'm
absolutely.
trying, yeah, where I'm getting at with this is like, I think it's a good example top of my head is Bob Dylan. Like how he got to be where he is because he just pursued the
Bob
curiosity of like,
Bob Dylan to me is one of the funniest musicians in the world because he went from being like a regular singer to like doing everything going and nobody even noticed. It's just like nobody at all noticed, and it's like, okay, this dude he just doesn't even give a shit anymore, and he still makes millions of dollars. You know,
yeah. And that's the thing that I can relate with, that a lot of the interviews. I'm a big fan of like interviews, music interviews, documentaries and stuff. And the way the interviewers try to frame him, and also like the fans, it's completely different than the way that he sees himself. You
right,
know,
right,
and a lot of it is just like when he's being himself in the interviews, it rubs a lot of people the wrong way because he's not fitting into the idealized, romanticized version of like what he should be as a icon, as a public figure, as a musician, artist, whatever you want to label him as.
right.
And that to me is the most fascinating thing, because I'm just barely like going through that, like this. I'm scratching the surface with that, where people are like reaching out to me for the music stuff, and we connect on that. But outside of that, we have completely different values and beliefs on where we stand more on a lot of things, and we clash. We clash on a lot of those things. And then all of a sudden, the way that they thought that I was based on this public persona is completely different than the reality of who I really am, and it throws a lot of people off. And sometimes I feel like maybe I need to not necessarily apologize, but set the record straight in a way. That's why I always tell a lot of people, and even like, yeah, even in relationships, even if I ever like women, I tell them I'm a mess. I'm a complicated. Like what you see, the
I'm
whole
just
music stuff is
I'm a
the
real pile of shit. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
if you got on this ride, I feel sorry for you.
Exactly, exactly. And they're willing to look past it just because, you know, I'm up there singing and singing about like the birds and the bees and like no, no,
The birds
no.
and
This
the
song's
bees.
about death.
Let me tell you about the buds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and the. Oh, sorry.
It's not
Went
a
into
bad
oldies
problem to
there.
have, though. I will say.
No, it's not. I mean, Julio's one of those types that can just pick up a guitar and go up on a stage and panties just start falling everywhere. You know,
Yeah.
that's that type of guy right there. And then
Right.
he
But there's
goes
just
and tells him.
paintings,
Then
like
he really
paintings on the
screws him
wall.
up. Yeah, then he really screws him up, and it's like, "Here's all my red flags, bitch. You want this ride or what?"
Yeah.
And they just like fall for
There
it.
you
You know,
go.
it's like, "Oh yeah, problem. Maybe I could fix it." Woo, you know.
This is a tall order.
It's a, I'm a disgruntled mess, baby. All right, let's get this going.
Yeah, can we say toxic loves toxic, right?
Yeah. It's funny because I'm learning Toxic by Britney Spears, trying to cover that song.
Do it in a
And it's
heavy
like
metal version. I think in
yeah,
a heavy metal style it would be great. I'll lay
oh,
down the drum track for you if I'm up for it.
yeah.
Just do a metal drum track to like a degent type.
I'll send you a version. A good buddy of mine, he's a big heavy metal head, and we always compare a lot of pop music that has been like covered in the metal style versions. And I remember him showing me Toxic, and it came out pretty. It came out really surprisingly, really, really good. You
We
know, in
used
its
to,
own genre.
yeah, I used to be in a cover band that used to do like today's hits and nothing but heavy metal covers. So that was actually kind of fun because these people, they would
Yeah,
be in the bar and they were just watching you, and you know, you go up there and there's a bunch of metalheads and they're expecting heavy metal music, but then they hear like Zombie in a heavy metal version and they're like, holy shit, this is fucking great, you know, and they just get into it. I mean, we started even playing like TV theme songs and shit, like the Ghostbusters theme and shit like that. And these crowds just ate it up. They loved it. You know, anything we can put to heavy metal, they just loved it. And it was the
yeah.
funniest damn thing to watch, you know? I mean, we could get up there and go, the wheels on the bus go round and round, but do it in a heavy metal version and they would just eat it up. You know, it
You know,
was
the
nuts.
music has been evolving, and that's probably going to be a constant throughout life and generations to come. But the one element that doesn't change is the element of surprise, and that's what I think is really exciting about being a musician is that we have just a library of songs catalogs that we could choose that we can recreate in you know in their own way. Kylie Minogue, I don't know if you remember this pop song from
Oh
the
my God.
2000s. La la la, can't get you out of my head.
Oh my God.
But
Kylie Minogue
yeah, now
reference.
I'm not now I remember that song from the pop charts when it was big enough, you know, it came out on that one CD. Remember Now, the CD that Now music that had like all the
Oh, it
top
was out
40
before
Now
then. I
this is
remember in
music.
2000 it was a really big song.
now I'm gonna post a video of a cover that was done, but they turned it into like a jazz type of
Oh
like pop
wow.
fusion type of and
Uh,
indie jazz pop fusion, and it's amazing. They have strings quartet in that, and it just sounds. I was
yeah,
eating it up, man. Just
yeah.
yeah,
I mean,
it's a real thing.
yeah,
People
not
are
to
waiting for originality still,
right,
you know.
exactly. Not to make it Kylie Minogue centric, but I'd like to see a heavy metal cover
Ooh.
of one of her 80s songs, like her early 90s songs, like The Word Is Out or one of his like
Locomotion.
I'm just
I want to hear Kylie Minogue's Locomotion as a heavy metal version.
yeah, exactly. Heavy metal or I should be so lucky as a heavy metal.
Need to check those out. Sure.
What the
So are
fuck
we
is
live
going
now?
on here? Yeah,
We've been
we've
live
been
for the
live.
past 20 minutes.
I'm having some trouble over here though. I don't know what's going on, but
Let I didn't disclose anything too personal.
my players are like doing
Well,
something weird.
anyway, I mean, we could talk about Julio and I were talking about how we are going to have some contests from the harsh reality in regards to hyping up Homegrown for July 29th.
Yeah. Um, I'm gonna be the media guy for coming up, as well as like the guitarist. And I'm gonna be pretty much, I guess, I'll be the one coordinating a lot of the interviews and stuff on behalf of these guys,
Well,
Anthony
they're
and
supposed to be
Bruce.
coming on. The two main guys, Derek and I forget the other guy's name. They're supposed to be coming on maybe next Wednesday or the Wednesday after. So
Gotcha.
they're supposed to,
See,
but well, fuck if I know. I have to talk to
see,
Wesley
Julio,
about it.
getting back now that I got my players to actually work. This is the kind of shit I'm talking about. Stuff like this, and crowds just eat this shit up. Here you go.
Are you trying to get crazy with SA? Don't you know I'm loco?
That's good though, man. If a song can get you to like bob with the rhythm,
Oh no,
got me,
it
I'm
gets
sold.
worse than that because I mean, it does. Hang on, let me see if I can find something other than that that's even more weird. Let's see, Wrecking Ball by. Oh yeah, here you go.
Wow.
Oh my
Miley
god!
Cyrus's Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball.
Wrecking Ball, yeah.
Oh, DK Head says blasphemy. Blasphemy. Oh, holy.
All right, here you go. Girls just want to have fun. That's even
that'll
better.
be
In the morning, like my mother says, when you're gonna live your life right.
It gets worse. It gets worse. I got Take Me to Church. You know what song that is, right? Take Me to Church. Oh, here you go. Gangnam Style. Yeah, I've got that one. Let's see.
Should we play some Bloody Wood for them?
Now, Girl, You Know It's True by Milli Vanilli.
Oh my god.
Oh, that's good.
And I mean, the list just goes on. I have all kind of weird shit like that in here. Baby, You're a Firework, Hotline Bling, Shake It Off. Here you go. Yeah, that's a good one.
Is this all you drumming?
I stay up too late, got nothing in my brain. That's what people say. That's what people say.
That's one of our old cover bands.
Oh, nice.
Let's see. Oh, here you go. This is even better for you. You're gonna really like this one.
Ghostbusters. Oh, I love that song, man.
Something strange in your neighborhood.
Let that one play, bro. Fuck. I've had Ghostbusters in my mind. The song, the theme song, is stuck in my head like instrumentally this past week.
All right, so Harsh mentioned a band. I'm gonna look them up real quick. Hang on a second.
Yeah.
All right, so
I ain't afraid of no ghosts.
this shouldn't. That's if I even have it. This is
send
gonna
it to
amaze
you.
you. This okay. What I'm about to play here is literally Indian heavy metal.
Yeah.
Like
They do like parodies of old Bollywood songs that turn into heavy metal. Not parodies, they actually do those songs.
but they're Indian. They're from India, and they're Indian heavy metal.
Oh, let me
band.
send it to you.
Here you go. I got it already. This is from India now. Keep this in mind.
I know. This is probably the only Indian music I've ever listened to.
All right, so India has their metal, and other countries has metal too. I don't know
Oh,
if you know
baby
that.
metal in Japan's really big.
Well, no, not baby metal. I can't.
Metal.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
Oh, in
like
Japan, they
baby metal?
Yeah, it starts off with like this. It's like, what the fuck?
That's why I want you to play some of that.
All right, so here is another band from where the fuck is the song? Okay, this is another band. This is from Japan, and this is called the Who. So they're a Japanese metal band. If it'll start playing. No, shut up, Bloodywood. Thank you. This is considered Japanese metal.
What's it? Okay.
And this is some very weird shit. This is actually featuring Papa Roach. So they actually got up there, you know.
Oh my god, featuring Papa Roach.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Do they
that's
kill
a credit.
themselves at the end of it?
No, I don't even know why that's a credit. You know, it'd be like featuring some weird frat guy from the United States.
That sounds like a great way for everyone to commit suicide.
All right, so look, let's see if we can find baby metal.
God.
Japanese baby metal. Let's see.
I'm gonna send you some baby metal.
No, don't send me shit. Thank you. Every time you send me stuff, it's like, oh my god, I don't even know if I want to open my inbox. Baby metal.
Well, in that case, can I have my PayPal back?
No, no. I'm looking for. Let's see. Well, there's a band.
Got it. Sent it to you.
Oh God, there is a band called Baby Metal.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you want to check your inbox?
Yeah, I see it. Hang on, let me see if I can get it pulled up over here on this one. Because you know, because of the sharing bullshit that Google decided to implement earlier this week, things don't work like it used to anymore. Thank you very much for Chrome for screwing that up for us.
Not to worry. You've got 4 gallons of cologne and a plan. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Way Too Much Cologne Wearer. Because we think we smell.
I was hoping you play that one specifically. I was thinking of that on Sunday when I was getting ready for Homegrown. As I was putting on cologne. I'm like, limit the sprays.
Bud Light presents.
Here you go. Here's another one for you.
Men of Genius. Real men of genius. Today, we salute you, Mr. Garden Gnome Maker. Mr. Garden Gnome Maker. Anyone can dress up a yard with a shrub or some gladiolas, but it takes real guts to use a small, brightly colored ceramic man. You're the man. And what says, welcome to our home, like a dwarf in the hedges. Standing tall. Many a night, you've slaved over a hot ceramic man maker, knowing somewhere there was a lonely pink flamingo or a cement frog who needed a buddy. So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, oh master of miniatures, because as all Americans know, a home isn't a home without a gnome. Take me home. Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch.
And hereby special request for Harsh. We're going to play this.
This is so stupid. It's funny.
What the hell is this?
Chocolate.
What the fuck? Oh my God. Okay, I will say this. The accompanying video is just retarded. It's like these 3 Japanese ladies in dresses that are dancing around on the stage. It's weird.
You like chocolate? Are you a fanatic of chocolate?
Do they have any lyrics to this? Or
They're supposed to come up in the song.
Okay.
Chocolate. That's my jam right there. That's my guilty. My guilty pleasure.
Okay. We need to put these girls on a boat, get them to America, and let the boat sink on the way here. I mean, give them a warm welcome. I meant to say warm welcome.
That sounds so.
Yeah.
Way to relive a World War II, Scott. Take 3 Japanese people on a boat and sink them. Yeah.
DK Head says, kill it with fire. That's right. This weekend only at your psychotic psychiatrist office. Come down and see us this weekend. That's right. We'll get you all fixed up. I had to throw that old school DJ voice in there for a second. My bad. For a limited time and a limited time only at Ross Sellers Dodge Chrysler Jeep, come by the all-new Dodge 1500 pickup truck. It'll break down and it'll sound like this. Oh, wrong button. Okay, yeah, don't buy that truck. What the hell is this? I don't. Okay.
I think it's called Baby Metal.
Baby Metal. That's the actual name of the group. Baby Metal. That's even more scary.
I think that's a genre, but the actual name, I don't know what it is.
Cement frog who needed a buddy. Bud Light, oh master of miniatures. Because it's all American.
Okay, I got another one for Julio as soon as this one's done. I tried to cue it up by itself, but it wouldn't let me. Bud Light's just like, we're gay now, so we're just going to do what we want.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor.
Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor.
Because of you, we'll never be lost in the middle of a dense forest without a little plastic toothpick again.
Won't get lost again.
What's that bulge in my pocket? It's my knife, and my tweezers, and my scissors, and my spoon, and my bottle opener, and my fish scaler,
Take it to the max.
and my leather awl, and my corkscrew, and my nail file, and my paring knife, and my hasp.
What's a half?
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor, because you
All right. So one more after this, and then I'm putting that to bed.
pride.
Mr. Giant Pocket Knife Inventor.
That has got to be the most genius marketing. Like,
Yeah, it really was.
oh my.
Here you go. Here's another one for you, Julio.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Used Car Lot Auto Salesman.
Mr. Used Car Lot Auto Salesman.
Slick back hair, a sharkskin suit, alligator boots. You cultivate a look that oozes, trust me.
I think that I can trust you.
You stand behind every car you sell. Because if you stood in front and the brakes failed, you'd be crushed.
You better watch out now.
Oil leak? What oil leak? That puddle under the car is just sweat from all that horsepower.
Let the horses out now.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Peddler of the sheet metal. Because when life hands you lemons, you sell them.
Mr. Used Car Lot Auto Salesman.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
It is like the most healthiest way to insult somebody. With the most,
That's
It
not
really is.
that's not oil under the car. That's all the sweat from all the horsepower.
he was wearing crocodile boots,
Crocodile and alligator boots.
alligator boots.
That sounds like something that happened at the Justin Davis Boat Emporium, isn't
Oh,
it?
you're gonna make me cue up the music, aren't you? Yes, you are.
Yes.
Yes, you are, sir. That's
This
right.
random thought. Remember when those commercials aired on like television?
Yeah.
Bam. And then it would just stop you dead in your tracks and wherever you were going. And you would just watch the bit. You couldn't help yourself but watch the fucking commercial because it was so
Yeah.
goddamn funny all the way through till the end. And then by then you forgot what you had to do it with. Like you're
Well, I don't know about that, Mr. Julio, but I tell you what, right down here next door to the Buc-ee's off I-95 here in Georgia, at the Justin Davis boat, you see, they made me forget what my goddamn business name was, you son of a bitch. Let me finish my goddamn commercial, goddamn it.
Emporium, Justin, you fucking...
well, that's the new branch. It's the Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium and Used Car Lot, Bait Shop, Strip Club, and Steakhouse. We got to make money somehow. The goddamn slip rental, these people don't want to pay it no more, and they keep stealing water, but that's a different story. We'll get into that later. Anyway, come on down here this weekend for $19.95. You can park in the truck parking lot next door and look at the lot lizards. They're not really much to look at, but they're cheap. Don't ask me how I know. Anyway, that's this weekend only right here at the Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium, Used Car Lot, Bait Shop, Strip Club, Steakhouse, and Taco Truck. So come on down.
Come on down. The music.
Oh no, that's been you'd have to be here when that first started. It's a friend of mine that's online. He's from Georgia, and he's got like this terminal fucking accent for some reason. You know, I mean, when I say terminal, it's like I can't stop talking like this no matter what I do. You know, that type of accent. And he was telling me how something about this girl was supposedly buying this boat condo and said something about parking it at his house. And it actually didn't happen, but for some reason, the story got misconstrued that way, and we've been running with it ever since. Now he owns this big boat condo emporium and everything else. You know?
That's awesome.
That's right. Just come on down to South I-95 right here in Georgia, next door to the Buc-ee's.
Come on down to Stiffy's. We got our wide selection of wrenches you can pick from.
Stiffy's is on the other side of the street. And I'm going to tell you right now, I got a problem with Mr. Stiffy. That son of a bitch keeps undercutting my prices for boat slips. And if he don't fucking quit it, I'm going to shoot his ass. God damn it.
Hey, you know the funniest part about this?
I'll come down there and I'll spray my own 2 cents on them.
You know the funniest part about this?
What's
Not
that?
Justin Davis, because he's a simp for the mommy groupers. But you know what's the funniest thing though? When I'm interviewing Aaron Williams, one of the founders of Homegrown, and I bring up the idea I told Scott, you know, about Dustin Davis, Caleb himself, hosting the co-hosting the Homegrown Arts and Music Festival in Oklahoma. All of a sudden, he's like, "Well, you know what? We do host them in Nashville. We host them in Colorado, and we host them in some other states. Yeah, we could definitely make that possible." And I'm just like,
It's a real business proposal. Wait, hold up.
So what? We're gonna have basically Clown Sack be co-hosting an event by Aaron Williams and the rest of Homegrown.
Hey, I mean, they can have it in Louisiana too. We already have spots to do it. You know, we
have it in Oklahoma, Louisiana. Oh my God!
You got to play that hillbilly music in the background.
Yeah.
Now presenting the Homegrown Arts and Music Festival live in Oklahoma, next to Pallet Kingdom.
No, away from the Pallet Kingdom. Away from the Pallet Kingdom. The former neighbor of the Pallet Queen, sure. We could have him host it.
Yeah, we'll have the neighbor of the Pallet Kingdom host it. We just won't have it at the Pallet Kingdom.
No, we'll have it where there's actual land. And
before I forget, Thursday, I'm supposed to mention this. Promoting open mic for coming up. Joliet, Elder Brewing in Joliet.
So you're voting on it, or you're having that on Thursday?
We're going to be out there for the open mic. So if anybody wants to come check out the band coming up, come on.
We could host Julio's show from there.
Yeah, that'd be cool. There's
Yeah.
actually it's a really nice stage. Have you been there at
Where,
all?
in Joliet?
Elder Bruin.
No, I don't think I have, but I definitely would go though. Set up
There's
at
a
like
really nice spot for you to set up. There's a
all
really
right,
nice stage. It's a
cool.
pretty cool venue.
Yeah. So what time does open mic start then?
I think that one starts at 7 o'clock.
All right, I'll get set something up at 6 if Bowser is up for it.
Gotcha.
Yeah. If I mean, yeah. If Bowser,
Coming up, the band and Harsh. You've also seen them live, right?
yeah. Well, I saw them
Um,
live yesterday and a few other times. I mean,
Scott, this is another band. This is a good example of a band that's traditional in terms of like real hip hop, you know, like legitimate hip hop from like back in the day, and they are incorporating a new sound, like a with in this generation, but still maintaining those elements. And I'm having the biggest. It's a tall order for me because I've never been in like a hip hop band, but I understand, you know, the musical theory components that make up that type of genre of music. I have a lot of like studying to do into like hip hop because I'm not that broad in knowledge of hip hop artists and the music in general. Other than my references are Notorious B.I.G., Immortal Technique.
those are some good references. That's a really good foundation.
That's some pretty good things. Some pretty good references.
Eric
to go
B
with.
and Rakim and maybe Nas and some of the older ones. And I mean, I'd say Jay-Z, but
not to be confused with Lil Nas X.
Thanks, Bowser. Anyway,
yeah, I just don't want people to get confused and think y'all are talking about somebody who's like riding a pole all the way down into hell or some weird shit during a music video.
No,
that's all.
No,
I just don't want people to get confused.
Probably old enough to be his grandfather. But anyway, the point.
No, I am not. Jesus Christ, he's
I said
30s.
The rapper I was talking about is old enough to be his grandfather.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me. My bad.
Well, I mean, you are too, but that's
artists, right?
Point.
Nas and Lil Nas.
Yeah, Lil Nas. No, they're not related. But Nas is like 55 years old. Lil Nas X is like 10.
Yeah, Lil Nas X is like age retarded right now. So, you know.
And for the record, Scott is old enough to be his grandfather.
No, I'm not. I am not old enough to be somebody in their 30s, grandfather or father, for that matter. I'm only 44 years old, sir.
That'd be a weird relationship.
Yeah, no shit. Hey,
fair,
how are
Scott
you? I'm your dad.
44.
I'm your dad. I had you when I was 4. Yeah, no, it doesn't work that way.
Well, I mean, for all we know, Scott could have been born in like the 50s and they just changed his birth certificate without him knowing.
Yeah, without me
knowing. He is
adopted,
so we don't know what they do in those places.
Just completely forget about 20 years of my life, you know, it just disappears. So that's how that works. It was my new identity in 1979. I was born as an adult. And I was already 35 at birth.
We don't know. This happens all the time in quote-unquote high schools where you have like a supposed 30-year-old pretending to be a teenager playing against like 15-year-olds.
Oh, you mean like what's the name of that movie? Jump Street, 21 Jump Street?
Yeah.
Oh, those are good.
Yeah, I mean, you can't sit there and tell me, you look at these people and go, okay, they're not of age. You know, I mean, look at fucking Jonah Hill. Looks like he's 53. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm gonna play a teenager in this movie. How? You know, how? How is that even possible?
He says you can have kids at 14, and he says you didn't need SSN back then, which is also true.
I do have a social security number, sir.
Well, probably gave it to you when you were like 23, but that's besides the point.
I was bored with it. God damn it. I used to walk uphill two ways to school in the snow barefooted.
Okay.
Hoey says no. Harsh is telling a true story about a football player this past season. Well, not just this season. There's also been basketball players in the past who were caught doing the same thing too. So it's not it's not that uncommon for it to happen. You know, but I'm not mentioning names because at this point, yeah, what's the point? But Yeah, Scott did. Yeah, you can have kids when you're 14, and yeah, Scott is old enough to be someone's grandfather at this point.
I actually do have grandkids, by the way, from my daughter.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm
All right,
trying to get a
give me a little
scholarship.
time.
Yeah.
I'll be right back. I'm having to do some medical stuff. I'll be right back. I'm not
But
leaving the camera. I'm just turning my mic off for a second.
right. But yeah, it's always been a fun time for that in general. But we do need to set a show up for Thursday, at least if Scott is up for it. Thursday at 6 Central. You know, we can definitely do that. And Howie says Granddaddy Scotty. But no, we have that going on. So let's talk about more about the band coming up because I don't think they get it. I know we had a fun post show, post event interview on for Sunday, but I don't think we really had anything. I don't think we got enough depth with that. So I don't know. What are some other things we should be looking forward to in the next 2 months from them, Julio?
They are in the process of recording right now. A lot of their original hit songs. They have right now. They have use, and I'm sure you guys have seen them live in a lot of their open mics. Or they have is a mic open. Everything's gonna be all right. And then what's the other one? Tonight is the night. I think that's the same one. But they're finally laying down their original music or tracks. At Sound Summit Studios, big shout out to them. Charlie Dresser, I believe, is the sound engineer that's recording those guys. And so hopefully before Homegrown, they'll have like some finished master tracks of their original music, and we can start playing a lot of that music live leading up to the Homegrown Festival. But it'll all depend on whether or not the music is finished in terms of the recording process.
Right. Absolutely.
Musicians, if I remember correctly, right now Ace and Deuce they're looking for a keyboardist, saxophonist. And so right now, yeah, if anybody knows any musicians that would like to do hip hop or an audition, I'll do an audition for those guys, then let us know. Message us on Facebook. You can message me directly or them. And yeah. It's very exciting, Harsh. Like
It is.
I didn't even know that I was considered to be like their guitar player, like as like a official guitar player. I've kind of just been jamming with them and trying to support them, wherever they play at. And because we before me playing with them, we would always just run into each other at the open
Right.
mic. And a
Well,
lot of the times I recognized that they needed, they were always music bassist or guitarist. And that's where I came in. I was looking for the experience, because I'm new also to the open mic culture and performing live. So it's a win-win for both of us. I get the experience and then they get the support of a guitarist that they need for their performances.
well, you
And
definitely get that. But I find it funny that you feel like the new kid there when there was another guy there. I don't know if he was playing the bongos or the
yeah,
drums that just joined there, just
yeah,
decided to play with them that day. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to homegrown." Like, what the
yeah, yeah. Ryan, that's
yeah,
I can't remember his last name, but Ryan's his first name. And yeah, he's man. I don't know if Scott, you saw the live recording, the footage that Harsh recorded that day, but the performances on there, and for a drummer, he was really good, man. He was in the pocket. He had some tight hits, and
yeah,
really really kept the groove and the beat going throughout the music. And for first time playing with this, like without knowing the music, it was very impressive. So I think his talent speaks for itself, and the circumstances that he found himself in. So
yeah.
it's good stuff, no?
That is very true. And That's very impressive. I don't know who got lucky there. Did you guys get lucky getting him to play that night, or did he get lucky tagging along that night?
This is something, yeah, that's a great question. That's definitely something to confirm with Ace, who he's the one. Ace and Deuce, they're the ones that make the decisions for, like,
Yeah.
who gets to play, because it's pretty much their show. They're the MCs. They're the ones. This is their band.
Either way, I mean, I think it worked out perfectly.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
you got to go to. I mean, I was thinking, oh, poor Julio's not going to go to homegrown. Then I'm like, oh, wait a second, you're the band coming up. There you go. You're back at homegrown anyway. You know, is there? I got a question. You think you think they'd be willing to perform wearing a bunch of CSHR merchandise?
Yeah, yeah. I think. Wait, homegrown or what do you call it? Coming up.
Coming up at when they're at homegrown.
Oh yeah, yeah. I think it's possible. I think it's just a matter of having that conversation with Ace and Deuce, and because
All right.
from what I remember, yeah, I think I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this, but they have their own merchandise as well, and they're
Okay.
going to be that's in the back and backwards with them in terms of like the marketing and stuff, and yeah. So if anything, you guys could cross, merchandise sell at the
Yeah, we
event,
could do. That'd be kind of cool.
because it's really cool what you're doing, Harsh, like, and Scott, with the radio station. You guys are journalists. You guys are like you're bringing the local news of the local music scene to the public, outside of the local community, and that's a pretty big.
The funny
That's a
thing
pretty big
about
deal.
that is that wasn't even intentional. It just kind of turned into that.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's a couple of guys that just had that would get online and pick on each other, and people would laugh at, and we wound up starting a show, and then it grew into this. It grew into about to have, it grew into close to the end of next month being live on 5 different stations.
Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
I mean, we haven't been on for a year and we're already at this level. I mean, that's how insane this is.
Right. It's been amazing for both of us. It's something that wasn't expected from either one of us.
Right. But when your band got in, I was like, one of our contributors, one of our hosts got in with this. Who the hell am I to have this type of fortune? Like, what the hell did
I'm just as I still haven't wrapped my head around it. I don't think I've still processed it, and yeah, I was telling my friend, I've been very like skeptical. There's been a lot of like good stuff happening lately in my life, and for me that's very rare to see. But hey, I'm all for it, and I'm glad that I'm just glad that I can contribute in my own way, because I can relate, man. I started the whole music thing as an independent artist, and like I never did I think I would be asked to be in a band with Coming Up, and know that that's where it was going to go, and even if it doesn't, because it's still we're early stages, but if they find someone better or not, this is where I'm going to leave it. I remember a lady said, it doesn't matter if you're not the best at whatever, right? But whatever you can contribute in your own small way, just make sure you show up. Make sure you do that you give that type of support. And I'm just like new to leaving the house and reassociating back into society, because prior to COVID, I gave up on life, man, and I gave up on people.
Yeah.
And I gave up on my ability to contribute to society in whatever way that I didn't believe that I had anything worthwhile to contribute. And now, I mean, I'm just thankful that God has shown me, a way that I can contribute. I mean, whether it's playing guitar for somebody, at an open mic, or trying to promote, events, or whatever the case is. It feels good to finally give back and not resign from life and watch life pass me by through the confines of these 4 walls and the window, But yeah,
I'm grateful that God brought you and Wesley into this. I'm like, holy fuck, this has made such a big difference because like there was a time where I was just doing live streams where it's like, yeah, I would cover the news back in the day or political activism or current events or cover the news when it came to like some of the lies about the shutdown or whatever. But and then other times that I did want to switch to covering musicians, and then half of these idiots would just be like, well, we're nervous. We don't know what to do, blah, blah, blah. And then people would show up. I'm like, yeah, I'm grateful for them, but it was never like this. Like, this is a whole
yeah.
different level. This is a whole different thing. You guys have, in a way, helped our dreams come true, and we don't even realize it. There you go.
The journey of life is so full of like unexpected turns and twists,
Yeah.
and yeah, man, I don't know if you guys feel like this, but I feel like I'm just watching life. Just it's like a movie. As cliche as it sounds, it's like a lot of the times I just feel like a fly on the wall observer as things unfold in my life, events and
Yeah.
tragic things or like successes, and it's just like today I woke up and I was like, fuck, I'm still alive. More of
Exactly.
that's gonna be happening, and I don't know.
Well, I
It's a
mean,
beautiful
Jay's
thing.
still asleep, so we're kind of glad that you joined instead. But I feel that way too sometimes, especially at home growing up. Especially last night, I'm like, holy crap! Here I am having like a host of one of our hosts like randomly interviewing musicians with the laptop, and then we have like another one, with Wesley interviewing Kristen Rose Kelly, and then we got you like we're coordinating events, and I'm like, oh my god, what the hell have I done to have be in this position? Like this, I don't know how really.
That day at Homegrown when I don't know if you recall this, remember this, but you were somewhat of a hesitant about like just doing the interviews. And I picked up on that. And that's when my network marketing like experience or direct
Yeah,
sales come in.
you're talking about
And
yesterday, right? It's
it's
Sunday, right?
Sunday.
Yeah, well,
And
because I'm just like, oh man, I don't know if I want to stay here another hour.
yeah, and see, it was really cool to be able to like know how I can offset that feeling for you and then also put the mission at hand and follow through on it. And it was good for me because I was able to turn on,
Yeah,
my sales hat or my communication hat or my like,
yeah, that was clutch. That was very clutch.
and
Also,
that's what I mean. It's in those moments that I recognize where I can help in whatever small way I can, and facilitating people. I mean, if it's one thing that I know that I do have somewhat of a skill set or a natural ability is telling people what to do.
exactly.
Because it's a work to me, man. The way I see it, it's a world of leaders and followers. And I mean, I know the ability to lead comes from the military,
Right.
but it's so now. But now, like being outside of that and being in the real world, the opportunity is still there. It's so relevant in real time. Like I'll go out to the grocery store and I see somebody struggling with like returning a cart. Leadership, do it
Yeah.
for them. Take the initiative to like help them out. And so, yeah, I'm just happy that I can finally just like do something with my life,
I'm
in whatever
happy.
capacity, small way that is.
We're definitely more than happy to be a part of the Julio journey, and
Absolutely.
this has been a fun ride so far. And yeah, I was tired Sunday night. I started like, oh man, I just want to go home. And it was like, yeah, let's do some more interviews. I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's just set her up again in the
Yeah.
corner, so I don't have to unplug the damn laptop. Same microphone from that day, by the way.
And a lot of the artists were excited to do the interview. I don't know if you noticed that.
Oh yeah, I did. Oh, I noticed that. I was like, yeah, we love you. Then you had I'm trying to remember.
That's the
Then
kind of like
you,
joy that you guys bring into people's lives, indirectly, I think that's a cool thing, man.
I'm happy for that. I remember when yeah, it's a very cool feeling, especially I can remember the first time we started interviewing musicians on a serious note.
Yeah.
It was I think BCA back when he used to promote open mics at Johnny's Blitz, and that was the first time I was like, oh wow, this is actually something special,
Mm.
It really is. Or when it was like Matt Shukin back in the day, because he was very shy with interviews, but then once he
Who
understood that was yeah.
who was?
Matt Shukin at the time, because he was very shy about interviews because he's very.
That's a musician that I want to meet. I've heard a
Oh,
lot
he's the
about him
man.
with the Grapevine. Yeah, he's a
Oh,
really
he's gonna be at an open mic tomorrow night. He's
good.
hosting one at Shanahan's.
Oh man, are you going? Are you gonna go?
You know what? If we could do the show from there, yeah. If we can't, then no.
Hmm. I wanted to check out Shanahan's, but tomorrow is Brower House. I need to go with play for coming up.
Yeah, there's. Oh, I mean, I'll definitely. Him and I have had some. Him and I and Rob have some fun moments together back in the day. So it was just cool to live stream with them. Just like when it was a lot more simple than this. It was like a
Mm.
lot less, tech savvy than all this. It was just cool. And what Joe said, Casey. Well, first time that's when we were able to have an actual performance on an interview together. It's like,
Oh
how
wow!
the hell did she? How the hell did she fulfill something I want to do for years? Was like have a musician come on, interview, and then start playing music. And she just did that on accident. I was like, holy fuck, this is remarkable. Because she was
Yeah.
supposedly nervous that like I had to go to the bathroom or something during the time. And I'm just like, she pulled that off?
Wow.
Like, holy shit, this is great. Like, this act the things you want to happen on accident. That's when you know. That's when you know like things are on
The forces greater beyond our comprehension
right.
and understanding are working, right? Are at play.
When 1 minute I'm yelling at Jay Hill, but we love him because he can't get his sound right. And then the next minute you got Joseph Casey just magically fulfilling the type of show he wanted to have. It's like, damn, it's a well, let's see what
But
Shukin's up to tonight after this.
Josette Casey, dude, this is just an idea
Yeah.
that just came to me. We should do like an interview or a podcast show where we interview like a showcase of like maybe 2 or 3 or 4 singer-songwriters like Josette Casey, Brian Coon, um,
Yeah,
Dave.
we should. We should
Like a
definitely.
panel, of
Yeah.
just like
Right. I mean,
I don't know.
if we could get them like on an off day or something, that'd be great. Because I know what Joe said. She's like, "Look, I like doing the shows with you, but I also want to go and make money off on stage to perform." So, all right. But no, we definitely need to do a panel like that. If you know when they're off, when they
Okay,
have like free time, that'd be perfect.
I'll start the inquiry,
Yeah,
inquiring
absolutely.
about that with them.
And speaking of Shukin, speaking of Mr. Matt Shukin, you know what's so weird about Matt? He's so young and yet he's so mature.
What? How old is he? Who, Matt?
Yeah. Matt Shukin's like freaking a decade younger than us, damn near 2 decades younger than Scott, and yet he's like more mature than all of us put together.
I've met quite a few musicians in the scene like that are
Right.
just like, yeah, it makes me question what the fuck am I doing with my life.
But then you meet musicians like Daryl and you're like, yeah, this makes more sense. I remember one time. This is the day after we came back from Flint, the day after we dropped off water. We were staying at our aunt's house, right? My cousin's house, right? And in Livonia. And so what happened is all of a sudden Daryl, like I'm just ready to go, like walk around in the neighborhood, have some, decent Mediterranean food, have some have
Damn,
some,
that sounds good.
just eat some actual food that's not fucking Pizza Hut or like Papa John's or whatever, right? Or what, you know what I'm saying? Like just eat some regular food. And then all of a sudden we're going out, and then Daryl's like wearing this like cut up shirt with like 20 holes in it. I'm like, dude, I got a cord cabal shirt if you want to wear it. He's like, no, man, I don't want to wear it. I don't want to wear it like this. I'm like, okay, it's up to you. He just walked around with like torn t-shirt, wearing a torn t-shirt the entire time. And everyone's like, yeah, this is it. It was like, cool. He didn't wear it by force. He just wore it by choice. I'm like, you can wear another cord cabal shirt. Like, no, fuck them. Okay. All right.
Daryl, I gotta say this about him. He's every time I run into him at the open mics, I feel like me and him see eye to eye on how we look at life, how we view life, and how fucked up it is. And I always have. I don't know. That's where I connect with him, because he's somebody that I look up to in the regard that he doesn't put up with the idiocracy that
No.
a lot of the people, act out in their behavior. It's that second class behavior.
Yeah.
I respect him a lot in the regard that he takes that personal initiative to bring justice to the right circumstances,
He does.
socially, where they
He's
need
a
to
very
go.
good activist. He really is.
Activist. That's the right. That's the right
He's
term.
very he's had his skin in the game. He's been doing that for a long time. Like I said, he's one of the few people that actually practices what he preaches when it comes to activism.
And then he goes on to put it in a song.
Yeah.
That to me is impressive, man.
Right.
I look up to him a lot in that.
And we all become the tyrants when we let the
Yeah.
tyrants lead.
Yeah. That song, I can't wait to I need to find it, because I have so many people that I know would get that song if I send it to them, and I'm going to, because finally a song that brings awareness to the reality of what life is, and we can connect with on it.
Mm. Okay, I got you. I'm sending it to you. I'm sending it to you right now. I might send it to Scott too, just because I think he might want to play this when he wakes up, or when he's just. There you go.
What am I being
But-
sent here?
Hmm?
What am I being sent?
Oh wow.
Our guy Daryl's a song about tyrant. We let the tyrants rule.
Forwarding. bunch of
Am I
people.
supposed to be playing it? Is that what's going on here? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
So they're the temple all the things try to stop and never die. Because the tyrant is no place. This skin. It's on the top Bible chip. It's the voice on the radio. The face on the street. It's all the time when it's out you back in disease. Because the tyrant is you. And now the tyrant has become the tyrant, but we let the tyrant stay. It's all the future's now the present, and the past is now alive. So let me tell you all the pieces how the tyrant never dies. Because the tyrant is the contract you twin shelter in the ground. The soldiers jail, and now we're stuck inside a system that is destined to fail. Because the tyrant is you, and now the tyrant has become because we became the tyrant, but we let the tyrant sleep. And so the future's now the present,
Damn.
it's now alive. So now
Preach,
tell
brother,
all
preach.
the present, but the tyrant never dies. Because the tyrant is a concept that exists within our brains.
Oh shit, that gave me goosebumps.
You got mass paranoia. You got mind control. We got it's the money, religion, shit, aura. Because the tyrant is you, and now the tyrant has become me. Because tyrant state. I say we all became the tyrant when we let the tyrant speak. I say we all became the tyrant when we let the tyrant speak. I say we all became the tyrant when we let the tyrant speak. I say we all became the tyrant. The tyrant.
Mic drop.
There it is. There it is.
I like when he says the tyrant is a concept.
Yeah,
That it just blows your fucking mind.
it does. And you know what? I think Hoey has a good quote with this. He says, honestly, have you seen how dumb people are in life? Sheep play their part. They do. And 2020 was
Yeah.
a perfect example of that.
What is it? It's easier to be ignorant than it is to be conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says at LMAOFO, there's a lot of I'm still alive days ahead, young blood. Well, to be fair, he's not that much younger than you, Hoey. He just looks a lot younger than both of us. He meaning you, but
And the music is really good. Like it's a really good arrangement. It's really well chosen chord progression.
it really is. And I don't think, it's such an underrated song too. You know what I realized though? Before his little Empire moment, where he was like 5882300 Empire. Dude, when Court Cabal used to like be successful, like people would flock to that. They were like legit rock stars. Like, if they were just performing at like O'Neill's or I don't
That
really
was his
think about it.
band?
Yeah, Court Cabal, yeah.
Wow.
But way back in the day, it's like when they used to go to events, if you knew who they were, like where it didn't matter whether it was like at O'Neill's or it didn't matter if it was at the Fremont Bar and Grill. You went to their events, you felt like rock stars because there was all sorts of like I don't know if I should say this on the air. Well, they had all sorts of what do you call it?
Entourage?
Yeah, kind of like an
Yeah.
entourage, groupies, whatever you want to call it. Like people were just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And if you were like, and I felt like a rock star because I was hanging out with them, and we go to like house parties and stuff afterwards. It was like,
Oh man. I don't I'm like very nervous about getting caught up in that and all that. Because I'm a homebody, but when I get out, I like to party, man.
yeah, that is true.
But I haven't done that in a long time. My
No,
partying is from now I like to party from 8 to 10 p.m. and and not on the weekends.
right. Well, I'll say one thing with the people. I'll say this with the people that you're surrounded by. I don't think you're gonna get in too much trouble with partying. Like,
Good.
I don't think. Well, if you're at least with the band coming up, because I don't think people like Rue really like partying all that much. But
Yeah.
so I think you'll be fine.
My I love playing. This is a new thing that has kind of just developed in my life. I love playing an open mic or a show and then going home right after. And then when I get home, either crack open some wine, which rarely happens, but smoke my stuff, and just like
Yeah.
just sit down in my chair. I'm one of those guys, man, that has a chair, and like I just love to sit down, smoke my stuff, and just reflect and just get in my head and think. I used to like be very scared of getting into my head because of all the things that it would tell me. But I've over the years, and it's just become a part of me. Like I really do enjoy. Now I enjoy. I like times of solitude and then reflection. You know,
Yeah,
I
I've kind of gotten
appreciate
to
it.
that point as well. It's like, yeah, I don't mind partying until 3, 4 a.m. in the morning, but at the same time, it's like there are times you just want to sit with a bottle of Brangelico and just
Ooh,
pour it out and just
is that
chill.
wine or is that alcohol?
It's like a breakfast liqueur. It's like a coffee. Like you can drink it with coffee. I might
Like
bring
kind
you
of
a
like
bottle.
Bailey's
Yeah,
or
kind of like Bailey's, but much better and Italian.
Disaronno. I like that one, man.
Yeah.
Disaronno, and I like adding some rum.
Oh yeah. I'll bring you a bottle. I'll bring you a bottle one of these days.
Man, I'm looking forward to hanging out with you guys and just having a day where we can just either like get a bonfire going or get some drinks and just stories, exchange some stories.
Exactly.
So you guys got going on the rest of the week or the rest of
Well, tomorrow we got we got Wesley Jeffrey coming on.
right on.
What do you think we should get Daryl on the show? Because he said he wanted to be a contributor for the Friday night shows, but you can hardly ever catch the guy having a free moment. The guy's been in our group chat since the beginning. So I guess like we could add you to the CSHR.
I'll talk to him when I see him.
Yeah.
The last one.
Let's see, members. Yeah, well, they'll definitely have to add you since you're definitely Friday night.
It's from Scott.
What's that? What happened? What did I do? I didn't.
Nothing yet.
Oh, sorry.
Then anyway,
Yeah,
we're
I'm
gonna
be
wrap
tuning
up
in for the
shortly in
answer.
a few minutes.
Oh, you was talking to Junior?
This weirdest day drinking tips ever. Okay, Howie. He says, "Oh man, I have a chair. It's called getting old." You know what's so weird? Julio's 35 and Howie's like 38.
Who's 38?
Howie.
Who's,
But like, you
I
look
haven't
at
met,
Howie,
have I
you're
met
like,
Howie?
yeah,
Oh.
dickhead, yeah, DK head or whatever. He has like so many different alts. I don't know if you met him, but if you've seen photos of him, you're like, huh, that's interesting. He says, "I'm 40, sir." Yeah, exactly. It's like a time warp. But then, to be fair, Howie looks younger than Scott's.
Yeah,
I was dealt a shit end of a stick. Okay, thank you very much.
I may be 34, but I feel 64. My fucking
does
joints,
not
my
matter.
shoulders clicking all the goddamn time. My left knee's giving out and shit.
A golden voice, regardless of my age, and no one can take that away from me.
The American healthcare is bullshit. It's still Scott's belly button. That is true.
You know, yeah, that is pretty fucked up. I want my belly button
back.
No
umbilical cords for you, sir.
I know. I'm just going to tell people, like, once all this is healed up, what happened? I'm just an alien. I was never born, okay? I was hatched from an egg.
We should do a show where Scott comes out and just like reveals the truth. We should hype it up and just like
I'll do my hair like the guy from the History Channel and just go.
Yeah, exactly.
Aliens.
He says, in regards to you, Howie says, see a chiropractor, and DK, and in regards
he'll
to
pay
Scott,
for a belly button tattoo. You know, if I ever decide to do something crazy like that, we're going live from the tattoo parlor. That's all.
Yeah, we should. We definitely should.
Scott gets a new belly button today, live on CSHR Radio. Yeah, that'll go over great.
Crikey. They're going deep.
Howie says, let's fucking go. That's right. We're going to get free belly button tattoos for everyone.
Yay.
What was that? They used to have during bike week in like Dakota somewhere, they had this bar that would give away free bar tattoos. Like they had a whole tattoo parlor set up and they would give like bar logo tattoos. And I'm like, yeah, that's really what I want. A permanent reminder of how retarded I was one weekend.
I got one of those tattoos. My first tattoo.
Yeah, my first tattoo was I don't know what I was thinking when I was 18. And I think that's the name of the tattoo, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty bad. One of these days we'll do like tattoos.
Yeah.
You know, like our shitty tattoos that, you know, we don't know why we have these tattoos, but they're there anyway. You know, that type of show.
Why we got cover-ups.
So we are at the 1 hour and 19 minute mark of the show.
That is Harsh's way of saying he is tired of doing the show tonight. Just to let everyone know.
He has DK and Howie says Hep C for everyone.
Why would getting a tattoo result in Hep C? Well, what kind of tattoo parlors are you hanging out in, sir?
To be fair, it is Kansas, you know, Wichita.
That's true. That's true.
It is. I mean, and there's a reason he doesn't have any of his hair. So it's like.
Oh, is that what it is? Bad
tattoo needles caused Howie to lose all of his hair.
One of the signs of Hep C is baldness.
Schizophrenia. Baldness and schizophrenia. And you also wind up looking like a leprechaun.
Right. But Howie says bar week in Daytona. Wow.
Bar week, yeah, bike week. Not bar week, bike week.
Well, he said bar week for some reason. I don't know
Well,
why.
for him, it probably is bar week. He doesn't have a bike. How can it be a bike week if you don't have a motorcycle?
Yeah, that would be true.
What? Why are you wanting to end the show? What's wrong with it? Is something
No,
broken?
no, because that was Scott Jr. who said I'm calling it a night. I thought it was you who said that.
No, he's just tired. That wasn't me.
Oh, I misunderstood.
I never left. I never left the freaking.
You
I
look
never
like you were
left the
taking a
freaking
nap, though.
call.
You were like
No, I was actually. If you must know, I was busy changing out an IV bag.
Oh.
See, you forget. I still have medical issues over here that I'm dealing with.
You looked like you were about to pass.
Do what? Like I'm about to do what? Pass?
Pass out. That what you were doing.
I thought he was talking about pass away. I was like, geez, that's kind of fucking dark, dude. Wow.
No, not yet. Not yet. Maybe
You kind of look like you're about to die.
Okay, well, thanks.
I just took it from 0 to 100 and like,
no shit.
No, and you know, it'd be the worst part. Scott will die right at the worst time. Like the day after, Scott's like, "I will CSHR to my son Junior," and then he passes away the next day, and I'm stuck with him for the rest of my life. And I'm like, what have I done? Junior and Scott, even in death, has trolled me to death. So basically, Scott would troll me even in death.
Yes, I will.
Can you hold a grudge much, Scott?
No, actually, no. I just thought it would be funny.
Yeah. By the way, I'm letting you know that, hey, Harsh, I'm letting you know that I'm gonna die soon. So I got an inoperable tumor or something in my brain, and you're gonna be doing shows with Junior for the rest of your life.
I'm going rogue. I'm gonna light up my cigarette.
So you got to go off camera to light us. I did that like 65 times throughout the course of the show, and Julio's like, I can't let anybody see me light my cigarette.
And I'm
Julio's got a pristine reputation. He can't be caught smoking anything on a camera, apparently.
Yeah. Why? I don't know why it's so hard. Well, because I just know, man, this is hard for me. I go, all right, well, here it is. Cat's out of the bag. I have a hard time admitting publicly that I smoke, because I have a certain like sense of, I don't know why I feel this way, but I feel like I'm responsible for a certain image to uphold. You know, I think about just children and like other musicians that
Julio, listen to me, sir.
I don't want to be a bad influence, a bad role model.
If it wouldn't be for cigarettes, I wouldn't have this golden voice today.
Yeah. Well, this is not a cigarette. This is what do you call it?
And if it wouldn't be for marijuana, I would be one hell of a
medical
dickhead.
marijuana.
Yeah. If it wouldn't be for marijuana, I'd be
I don't know why I have a hard time seeing it that way, man. Like, I feel more.
I don't know either, especially considering the music industry. A lot of people do drugs.
Harsh has seen me on a sober day, and it's not a pretty sight.
No, it's not. It's really terrible.
It's not a pretty sight.
When Scott is clean and sober, he's not even fun to like troll.
No, because I'll get like pissed off and go on rants for hours. You know, like, this motherfucker just pulled out in front of me, the stupid son of a bitch, and, goddamn dirt falling off the fucking car. You know?
And Hoey says, I'd be in jail if it wasn't for left-hand cigs or Marlboro. And he says, in regards to Julio, tell him you have a prescription. Weed, apparently. And in regards to Scott, he says he looks like a Star Wars desert person in the live.
Yeah, I know. That's because I didn't turn my light. Would you like for me to turn my light on, Hoey? Is that what it is? Is it bothering you that much that I need to, put lighting on in studio for you? Because I'm like literally only lit up by my screens right now. I mean, I understand it looks like the launch center for NASA in here and shit, but sometimes the lighting is a little bad. So, Hoey, would you tell me if I need to fix my lighting, sir, please? Thank you very
Who's
much.
Hoey, man?
That's DK Head.
DK. DK Head in the comments.
Oh,
I miss your beard, Granddad. You know what? Take your gay shit somewhere else. I don't want to hear it.
Oh my god. And I got Country Joe Logan saying.
Okay, this is non-sick Scott, by the way. If anyone's
No.
wondering, this is how I normally am when I'm feeling well.
Joe Logan says, "Hello, I don't have a share button. Don't know what's up with that. I don't know either, Joe." But
Look, okay, is that better, Hoey? I turned the light on.
D-Kid says, "Hi, I'm Hoey."
See? Look, light. You can see me now. Are you happy?
oh, that's what you look like. Get closer.
Let's get very close. Get extremely close to the screen.
Hey Scott, on the outro, can you play that song you played in the beginning? The one
Yeah,
where
that's our bumper music for the show.
Yeah.
I was fucking vibing on that. The fucking saxophone or whatever that was. That was legit. That was fucking money.
Hang on, I gotta answer something real quick. Yeah, he didn't like that at all, one bit, and that made him extremely angry.
Ooh.
Okay, that's all it was. Jason. Bob was just messing with him and was like, I accused him the exact plot of Breaking Bad, and he just like lost his shit. I don't know why. It was like, dude, nobody believes that shit. I mean, it's the plot of a television show. Calm down. It's okay.
Right.
Man, you know,
what are you talking
one of the
about,
things
Hoey,
that-
not being dubbed by Junior? I don't hear his voice. What's wrong with you? Okay. This is for Julio.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today, we salute you, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer,
Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer.
while lesser designers would shy away from putting 300-pound men in spandex. You embrace it,
Yes, you do.
pushing fashion to its limits, literally. You pair tights with a cape, a leotard with a mask, leather boots with a thong.
Oh, looking good.
All understated ways of saying, I'm going to rip your head off and look fabulous doing it. So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Guy, because without you, a man crushing another man's head in his arms would just look silly.
Mr. Pro Wrestling Wardrobe Designer.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
That was just for you, Julio.
Thanks, Scott. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just realized why I like those commercials. Because of the music, the context of like, they really took the time to write it, and the comedy too. Okay, so this is a question that I have that maybe we can segue into another conversation. I have a friend who wants to do comedy, but she's insecure, or she's a bit shy, and but she's naturally funny, and she wants to do it. She wants to like get out there, but she's afraid to take the first step. What advice, recommendations would you?
Well, I mean, it's a hard one. The only thing I could suggest in a situation like that is, are you going to regret not going on stage, or are you going to regret going on stage? And whatever you regret more, you should avoid doing that. And the only thing I'd also say is, remember, we had an open mic. Nobody cares if you're funny or not. If you want to get it out of your system, just get it out of your system.
I absolutely care. If you come out in front of me as a stand-up comedian and you're not funny, I'm going to heckle the fuck out of you.
Yeah, but you're not going to be in that area, so it doesn't matter.
I know, which is probably a good thing now that I think about it,
And some people wonder if you're really a human being or not.
Well, I have no more belly button to prove that I am, so, technically I could go around saying I'm not. I mean,
I knew you were an alien, Scott.
That's
No
You
exactly
know
belly
what,
right.
button.
Scott? You know what you and Junior remind me of?
What?
Bowser and the Koopas.
How? I'm like literally half the size I was a month ago. I've lost like
You know,
60 pounds. I mean, look,
I know, but it's
Wait,
still
are you
funny
talking about
though.
like
literally half
new
of what I
Mario Brothers,
was.
or are you talking about like 1994 Mario Brothers?
Any
There's
of the
no
Mario Brothers. It still
probably. I
reminds
mean,
me.
he's a millennial, so probably 1995 Mario, 1994 Mario Brothers.
Oh
I'm talking about
man,
even 85. He kind of has that same look too. It's like
85, you wouldn't even thought about yet.
no. When
okay,
I was a
so
kid, we played Super Mario Brothers all the time.
Wow, so you were in a poor family. You wound up with the original NES from like 1983.
From like 85 to 93. We
Look,
also had
when I was a
SNES at the
kid,
same time.
before the NES and the Sega and the Sega Genesis and all that other stuff actually dropped, we had an Atari 2500,
No,
Damn,
and
we
that
I
was
never
the
remember
had
most
that.
Atari.
We never
ridiculous
had that.
fucking gaming
I
system.
would bug my uncle to bring it out and just like hook it up and let us play it.
Yeah,
But
and you would play like
the one where
Pong.
he'd swing, the Tarzan game where he
Yeah.
would swing.
Pong. You remember that one?
No.
Oh, well, Julio just kind of dropped out there. I guess he'll be back here shortly. Apparently, he's having technical difficulties.
Right, no, but it was kind of weird because we had like Nintendo and Sega Genesis and SNES at the same time.
Oh, right. When I was a teen, that's when the first PlayStation came out. And the best video game of all time came out. Okay. All right, hang on a second. Julio's laptop died. That's why he disappeared on us.
Possibly. But
No.
say,
I'm watching the chats.
But yeah, I mean, it is. But I remember as a kid that I remember when N64 first came out. I was like, "Oh my god, it's N64!" No, it was nuts. It was a whole different era at that point. And PlayStation came out like a year earlier. That was
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh my god!"
PlayStation, like I said, that was
CDs.
whenever the best video game in the world came out, and that was called Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal by far was one of the best video games they ever released. I don't care what anybody else says. Fight me. Fuck you. It was better than everything.
Twisted
I actually
Metal.
found an emulator for my PC the other day, and I was playing Twisted Metal on the PC. It was actually pretty cool. The original OG Twisted Metal. You could put all these codes in there and get like the clown truck and be invincible and just blow everybody's shit up throughout the entire game. It was great. Sega CD.
Hoey says Sega Genesis was lit. It really was. I remember playing the Sonic games, the end of the final level.
The Genesis was lit. The original Sega was garbage.
Right.
When the original Sega that came out at the same time the original NES came out, that Sega was just junk. The
I didn't even
Sega
remember
Genesis,
that. That's how bad it was.
Yeah. The Sega Genesis was the second console they actually came out with, and that one was actually pretty cool. That's where Sonic came out,
Right.
and a bunch of other video games. I tell Julio he needs to hurry up and come back.
SG-1000.
Yeah, the old NCAA football. Those games were, I don't know, those games from back in the day, like those first person fighting games and stuff like that, were always more fun than what they have now, where you're playing as the person and they're fighting against you. And I always like to see the moves. Now they're just kind of boring. It's first person shooter. I mean, come on. How many fucking zombie games can you come out with? Or how many?
It was a fun game that people, I don't know if they still talk about it as much as they used to. Grand Theft Auto. When I first got PS2, I couldn't stop playing Grand Theft Auto.
The original ones. Well, GTA 5 is actually pretty fun to play on any game system.
Right.
Because I don't think there'll ever be a 6. And they just keep improving 5 for some stupid reason. But some of the dumb shit, you could be like walking through a town and pass by NPC, and it was like, "You bitch, you gave me age, you motherfucker," and just like, wow, it was an NPC too. It was like, where the hell did that come from?
The funny part was that you get to like run them over and take all their money.
Right.
In the game, and Yeah, when I remember we got like Grand Theft Auto in Vice City, and I used to wear like some of the Hawaiian shirts at the time. I'm like, damn, I do feel like Tommy Vercetti playing the game because it was just nuts.
Well, I
It
mean, not
was
everybody
retarded.
is a 6'2" Indian guy at that. So I mean, there's that. You wear a Hawaiian shirt, you could easily like pass off as a Mexican or something. So I mean, San Andreas and
No,
Grand
because
Theft.
Tommy Vercetti used to wear those types of shirts in the game. Is what I'm
Well,
saying.
yeah, but I mean, you can't say Vercetti. I mean, you can't be Italian. You're just like really the wrong color for that. That would be like the weirdest Italian ever.
Anyway, the bottom line is that game was awesome. And arrivederci, ciao. Come te chiama? Come te chiama? Buongiorno. Bastardo insignificante, io non ho italiano.
He speaks Italian, but he looks Indian. This is so confusing.
Yeah. Uh-oh. He says Scott's Polly cousin.
Polly? I don't have any Polly family members. What the hell are you talking about? Stop
Water
drinking and
Woods.
coming online, Hoey. It's a problem, okay? There's 12-step programs that you can utilize to take care of that.
Oh, he's so funny.
Julio, he's back and he looks completely different. That just makes it even better. He like combed his hair and put his glasses on. Okay, that's
I
weird.
know.
Don't do shit like that because it's confusing.
I had to take a Kit Kat break.
What the hell are you? What is that over your shoulder? Are you?
This is a cane of Somalia.
Oh, I thought you were being Mr. Sandman from like
The cane of Somalia.
This is a Wonder Cane where I can massage out my own
a Wonder Cane.
muscle nuts.
Wow.
I thought that was like Mr. Sandman's hook from like the Apollo. Like when people are bombing on stage and the little guy comes out dancing and he's got the big cane with the hook on it and he grabs him with it and pulls him off stage. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That was Mr. Sandman. DK says that he says, I'm a drunk, not an alcoholic. And that is completely true, Hoey, because drunks are not quitters like alcoholics. Let's see how much negative reactions I can have for that.
Make an alcoholic. Make someone an alcoholic. Or is that
I think that's when you like have to crack open a beer in the morning in order to function instead of coffee. When you start doing that, I think you're pretty much an alcoholic at that point.
What?
When you have to crack open a beer instead of drink a coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
If you got into like making beer for a living, like owning your own brewery, that'd be. I wonder. You would start to get into the gray areas with like when to drink or.
Well,
What if you have to taste test?
If you okay, Hoey has a good point. If you have to go to meetings, that's pretty much you're an alcoholic.
Usually court ordered.
Usually court ordered meetings. Okay, so if you have to go to court ordered AA meetings, that means you're an alcoholic, according to.
Pretty much. Once you got to go to those, then it's over.
Yeah, yeah. When you find yourself there, you pretty much know.
Well, we
When
used
you
to
wake-
have a, but
when
to
you
go back
wake
to the
up-
brewery.
When you wake up in random people's homes and don't know what town you're in, you're pretty much an alcoholic at that point.
That is true. But the question I want to ask is, we did have someone. We used to have a guest host on this show who works at a brewery. So you might want to ask
Who was that?
Squirrel if that's.
Oh yeah, that's Squirrel. I forgot it. Where is Squirrel anyway? She's like super busy these days. I hope she's
You're gonna
doing
ask
well
for
with
Squirrel.
everything.
Alex Thomas. She made the painting behind me.
And the one behind me.
Oh wow, that's really good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent.
Yeah. Mine looks just like the logo that we use for everything, which is pretty freaking cool.
That it is.
So merchandise is coming out soon.
Yes, t-shirts have been ordered.
Yep.
T-shirts
I already
have been
sent
ordered.
I already sent the first part of the payment. The other will be sent tomorrow, and we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yep.
I'm gonna have a brand new wardrobe by the end of the year. I got all these.
That's the
bands
plan.
now.
That's the plan. But eventually, once the terrestrial stuff starts up, we're going to be doing
Oh
like
snap!
polo shirts, with the logos, the station
Yes,
logos and stuff
that
like
would-
that.
That's another channel, right?
What about
Terrestrial?
suit jacket?
No,
what about
that's-
suit jackets with the logo?
Well, I mean, that depends on what we're doing. I mean, if it's something for Talk 103.7, it'll be a suit jacket.
Right.
You know,
And then maybe ties.
I
that have
can't
the
see
CSHR logo.
Classic Rock Eagle 98.1 having suit jackets. I mean, that just doesn't work.
Well, not
Unless
that,
we wear
but I'm saying in
shorts.
general to sell. Like if people have to go to meetings or something,
No,
have to
I
go
mean, yeah, well, that would
they
be
want to rock
different.
the CSHR apparel. I mean, why not have ties
What
that
the
have?
fuck is a Richardson hat?
I don't know.
Hoey's asking, I want a Richardson hat. What the hell is that? Is that one of those little weird hats like Kenneth Peter Newlands, Russell's, McConaughey, or whatever the fuck his name is, wears? Oh, y'all are both Googling Richardson hats now. That's great. And here I am with 3 computer screens in front of me. I didn't even think to Google it. I just asked what it was. What is a Richardson hat, Harsh?
Oh, a trucker hat.
I don't know what that. Oh,
Why is it called a rich? It's a trucker hat. Why not just say trucker hat? Why do you have to call it some weird ass name?
Because that's Hoey. That's why.
Jesus Christ.
The best snapback.
Hey, what a Richardson hat.
It's a fucking trucker hat. They're cheap as fuck on Amazon and great quality. It's the brand. It's the
Yeah, we
brand.
could get some CSHR style hats too.
Yeah, I'm not, you know, I'll make a trucker hat for, you know, like the rednecks.
Yeah, like Hoey.
Yeah, like Hoey. But if I have a hat, it's going to be like an actual fitted baseball cap.
Yeah, same here.
Right. It'll be a new era, like 5950 or some shit. It's not going to be a fucking trucker hat. There you go, the one size fits most hat.
a Richardson hat.
You know, I might
Richardson
collect
hat.
one of these.
I'm
Just
going to start calling Richardson hat. just to throw people off.
Right. But you know, yeah. But it might get to the point where I collect like 2 of each just for memorabilia purposes when we really start taking off. I'm like, yeah, 50 years ago we used to wear these types of hats. See, one was a trucker hat made for rednecks like Hoey, and another was a baseball hat made by wannabe hoodlums like Scott.
This is called a Richardson hat. Common people used to call it a trucker hat.
Common folk.
The common folk, yeah, the common folk used to call it a trucker hat.
Yeah,
Because there will be a separation of the classes by then. You know,
Right.
Jesus Christ.
The common folk, you know, it used to be called a middle class. Now they're just all poor. It's fine though.
the working poor. It's all good.
Jesus Christ.
Send me and he
Where are we
said,
gonna,
send
we're
me
gonna
some
be in
logos
10
on
years
me.
tonight, man. That's
He
gonna be a
goes,
good question.
He goes, no, he needs that kind of hat because he sweats a lot. He
Yeah.
likes the ventilation. Okay, well then why don't we
Oh,
just
yeah.
like make some custom hat with like an air conditioner built into it, you know? You put like wear a backpack with like a battery to run the air conditioner on your head. You don't need no ventilation for that. We'll just freeze your brain.
Yeah.
Or
He
just
likes
don't wear anything at all that day.
It's
So,
a Richardson hat,
yeah.
goddammit, Julio. Call it what it is, a Richardson hat.
The Richardson hat. Ah, damn it! It's not a. It's
The
not
common,
a trucker
but the
hat, it's a
common
Richardson
folk,
hat.
yeah, the common folk used to call it trucker hats, and I just, you know, that's actually just how the common folk wear it. They call them trucker hats.
He don't fit in rat holes. What the hell is a rat hole? Hoey, English,
I don't think-
please.
I don't think I'm in that
Rattle.
group chat because I'm not seeing who's Hoey.
No, we're okay.
DK hat.
Send him the
Okay.
StreamYard link so he can log into StreamYard and see the comments on the video.
Oh, it's through StreamYard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean we do
Okay,
the call on the call.
I opened
on,
it through Zoom.
yeah, well,
Right.
no, the call stays on Zoom. You wouldn't actually log into StreamYard. You would like keep everything
Gotcha.
disconnected just so you could see the comments.
Okay.
In other words, you wouldn't add your video or audio to it, and you just stay on the Zoom call. That way, you can see all the comments with the live.
Gotcha.
And we'll be giving away Richardson hats.
Got it. Thanks, Harsh.
What brand? Harsh, Google a Richardson hat. I want to see what one looks like. It's just a traditional trucker hat. That's just the name brand.
Yeah, it's just a trucker. Yeah, it's just a glorified trucker hat.
I can't let this go. Like,
okay, so
I will not be able to sleep at night.
He calls the fitted caps rat holes because it has all the back and it's confined spaces.
Yeah, custom Richardson hats. First search that came up.
Oh my God! So look, we just sent Julio down a rabbit hole over baseball caps.
I'm all too familiar with rabbit holes. Need not worry. Fresh hats made baby.
You know who else is familiar with rabbit holes? That would be male rabbits.
Oh, of course, North Carolina, USA.
No, well, yeah, obviously. That's where they came up with squatted trucks. No wonder they have trucker hats.
Welcome down to Stiffy's. Well, today we got a special sale going on. We got some Richardson hats.
Welcome to Justin Davis's
we're gonna take it
We
down.
got some Richardson hats being
Just a
sold.
notch.
And we got some trucker hats.
Wow, these are actually really nice trucker hats. Quality made, like logo wise.
Made.
Really, really good quality. Okay, so you can wear it with like a flannel.
Yeah.
There you go. Smokey, even the bear has a hat.
That's right. Come on down to the Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium Truck Stop, Bait Shop, Steakhouse, Strip Club, and Motel 6. That's right. Coming down now, $25 for 25, and I said that correctly. $25, you get a nice, fine executive model suite in our brand new Motel 6 we built next door, and you get a free Richardson hat. The hell's a Richard? It's a Richardson trucker thingy. Yeah, it's the kind of hat that lets the back end of your head breathe. It lets the ass end of your head breathe so you don't sweat to death on them hot days out there in the summertime. It's only $25 for an executive suite over here at the Motel 6 at the Justin Davis Boat Condo Emporium Bait Shop and Tackle Box.
And the Boat Condo Emporium's only open when I'm not simping for the mama groupers.
Oh,
Don't tell nobody that.
God.
Justin Davis. How come he's such a simp?
Did you add? Okay, Julio, that chat he added you to, that is the main show chat for this show. It's interesting.
So I opened it up, but I did what you said I shouldn't do. I have two windows running, and
no,
I
what
try
you do
to
is
leave the,
okay. No,
the video.
Yeah, no, you were connected correctly. It worked, but I heard the audio coming through on your end. All you have to do is just mute that screen.
Okay, let me try that again. I'm entering the studio with the link. Enter without mic and cam, right?
Yeah, enter without mic and camera.
Correct.
Okay, so there you are. Now you hear how it's how does he stop?
I'm getting an echo.
Yeah, how does he stop his audio from echoing? You do that on your laptop.
You may have to turn off the microphone for StreamYard. See, that's when I do the StreamYard thing. That's why I try to use a phone to access the StreamYard comments instead of a laptop.
Oh, okay. So what Harsh does is he logs into StreamYard from his phone and just keeps his phone muted.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what I'll do.
Okay.
Yeah, just do that.
Yeah, just do that, and that should work for you. So
All right,
you don't
let me
have an
try
echo.
Stop
Yeah,
echoing.
yeah.
It's bothering me. Don't echo anymore. Okay, that's better.
Justin Davis. How come Justin Davis never?
Yeah, the
talks
echo is
about-
annoying.
That's right. This weekend only here at the Justin Davis's Boat Condo Emporium, we got the man himself. That's right. He's the man himself. He announced baseball for years. He goes by the name of Harry Carey. We're going to have him live here at the Boat Condo Emporium this weekend. That's right, Mr. Justin Davis. We're going to come out here. It's a line drive out of left field.
My big Cabinets. Stone, I'm going to take a dab because we can't score any runs. And I don't know why Hoey wants those cheap trucker hats. That's why we got rid of those
How
in the
dare
70s.
you call a $25 baseball cap cheap? It only costs 5 cents to make in China. God damn it. That's capitalism, you son of a bitch.
How dare we got a 50 not 50
Oh,
hats
God.
because we didn't want the
Just mute
cheap
your phone
trucker
now.
hats like Hoey likes them.
Yeah, just mute your phone now, and you should be able to see all the comments and stuff.
Blasphemy Cubs fan. Yeah, that is true. Most Cub fans are blasphemic.
I don't think he meant it that way, but yeah, that's what we're gonna go with. Blasphemy.
This is crazy. I'm not able to mute my phone. Like I try to bring the volume all the way down, but it only goes. It stops at the like 25%. Weird.
Your phone is being monitored by the FBI, and they want to make sure they can hear it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it, man. I don't doubt it. Let me see. Okay, comments.
Yeah,
There we
should
go.
be able to. There you go.
Okay, DK head.
You found him. That's right. Harry Carey's going to be at the Justin Davis's boat condo at Emporium this weekend live on WGN, the power station. Well, thank you there, Mr.
Justin Davis spelled backwards is Sivad Nijjust.
And that makes absolutely no sense, kind of like my entire career.
Is that one?
Sonnier spelled backwards is Renos. Is Renos.
Parkway spelled backwards is your crap. And I still haven't figured out what I can do with that. That's right, you're watching WGN, and I was live in the baseball field. I'm Harry Carey.
Venegas spelled backwards is Sagnavid. Oh, why?
He accidentally muted himself.
It's spelled backwards as Sagnavid. As Sonnier spelled backwards as Renos.
How in the world did you just mute yourself?
I have it's called a mute button.
Oh, you got fancy over there. He's got mute buttons and shit. I could just press a button on a board and go.
And it makes sense that he's the shape of a rhinos. So that's why it's his name backwards.
That's right, and don't fuck with the rhinos. We'll kill your ass.
How he spelled backwards is
yeah.
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 Yo.
Well, no, you got to put that. Yes, I am on painkillers. Thank you for that brilliant observation, Mr. Hoey. I'm feeling pretty well tonight. Can you tell? That's wonderful. And I'm high as a fucking kite, too, so.
Walker spelled backwards is
Stop spelling shit backwards. Look, you made Julio leave again.
Walker spelled backwards is Reclaw.
Stop spelling shit backwards. You made Julio leave.
I can't help it, young man. If I don't spell something backwards, I can't get through watching the game.
Julio, what happened?
That stupid Harry Carey thing.
At least I didn't start with Howard Cosell.
Hey, look at that monkey run. He's
Can
at
you
the
believe
40.
that run? He's at the 40. He's at the 30.
He's at the 20, look at that monkey run all the way for a touchdown. I am not a racist. I call my own children monkeys because they're like the jumpy jack animals they are. They just can't leave me alone when I'm at home with my wife smoking a cigar. They're just jumping up and down the way this Redskins team has been jumping up and down all over the field today. They've only given up 10 points. George Allen must be jumping up and down like a chimpanzee with the defensive packages he's been spewing tonight.
Jesus.
And we got Dickhead and the Dallas Cowboys coming into town.
Okay, there he is. What happened? Where'd you go? Why do you keep doing that? You make me worry about you. Don't do that ever again. God damn it.
I don't know why it turned off by itself on my laptop.
Is it a Windows laptop? Is it Windows?
Yeah.
And that explains it.
We got Dickhead, we got Howie's Cowboys taking on the George Allen's Washington Redskins. He's at the 40, the 30, the 20. Look at that monkey run all the way for a touchdown.
That's right, Howard. We'd like to thank you for that wonderful commentary there. But now here's a letter from Ohio. And it says, it's the American Weekly Top 40 Countdown.
Horse sounds like a Nazi. Yes, I have to agree. He does sound like a Nazi. An Indian Nazi.
Sieg Heil! Oh ja, Sieg Heil!
On the live stream, Mr. Horschmed is a German Nazi.
That's German, right? German accent.
It's so weird. You could say like people could say like the most pleasant things in German, and yet somehow it sounds like
everything
in order to send someone to a concentration camp.
Yeah, it's like trying to. And it's all angry. It's all angry. You can be like a woman.
They sound like they're
like,
about to like execute someone, and they're saying like, "Oh, I like flowers."
Yeah.
I mean, it's literally like that.
List.
It's like you walk up to a woman and in English, it would be like, "Hey, how are you? Would you like to go have dinner sometime?" And then the same sentence in German is like, "Hey, it's like, what the hell? Why are these people so angry?" You know?
Yeah, and then and Howie says I sound like a Nazi, which is weird because he looks like a Nazi. I mean, if you seen him without his hat, he looks like a fucking skinhead.
That's because he's bald. He suffers from male pattern baldness. It's an affliction that most American men have to go through because of bad dieting.
Sieg Heil.
Sieg Heil, Joey. Sieg Heil.
And with that being said, if I can get it to open back up. Uh-oh.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Fancy Coffee Shop Coffee Pourer.
Mr. Fancy Coffee Shop Coffee Pourer.
What do you do with a master's degree in art history? You get a nose ring and pour coffee for a living.
Pour it on now.
Why is it called a latte? Maybe because it costs a latte, and it takes a latte time to make.
A whole lot of latte.
Someone ordered a cappuccino? Step aside. Let the man who works the milk foamer take over.
Step aside.
Sure, you charge $5 for a cup of coffee. It's putting that tip jar out that takes real guts.
Yeah.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, guru of the ground roast. It's not the caffeine that gives us the buzz. It's you.
Mr. Fancy Coffee Shop Coffee Pourer.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I swear to God, Anheuser-Busch, if I don't get royalties for this, I'm kicking someone's ass in that office.
That's
care.
clever writing. That's clever, like comedy skit writing on those songs, man. Those parody songs.
All right, well, here you go. Here's a good one for you.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Restroom Toilet Paper Refiller.
Mr. Restroom Toilet Paper Refiller.
Without your undying commitment, we might find ourselves trapped in a stall, armed only with our newspaper.
Oh, I need you now.
Like a brave soldier, you storm hostile territory, delivering much-needed supplies to your men. Should you leave one roll, or two, or perhaps that giant 10-pound super roll?
Keep rolling.
While others rest, you can't, because somewhere there's a guy with his pants around his ankles doing the bunny hop in search of a fresh roll. So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, master of the men's room, because if you don't do your business, we can't do ours.
Is there anybody out there?
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I like that part in the middle where he goes,
All right, so
"Ow!"
yeah. See, so that's what I was getting at. Like comedians that take the time to write their skits, that sit down and write material, versus
really,
comedians that think that are funny and go up on stage and do their thing, and they just end up looking like a fucking bunch of fucking morons.
you know, I crack a lot
I
of
don't wanna-
jokes. I say a lot of dumb shit, but if I wrote it down, it just wouldn't work. So I just whatever comes to mind just comes out. So if I was to stand on the stage and do stand-up comedy, I would probably have people in stitches because my brain would just like fry all of a sudden, and just it would be verbal diarrhea of just all of this random shit. You know, it would be like Robin Williams on crack up there, you know, all these different voices and all of this weird shit because I'm just that fucking unhinged. And if I wrote any of it down, I would probably be committed to a mental institution. So,
well, you can always just talk about your ex for like half the entire.
Oh God, that would be like a 7-hour show.
Yeah,
That would be a Netflix special.
It would.
Yeah.
Unknown guy talking about his ex-wife for an hour. That would be great. Yeah, she was a narcissist. I gave her everything, and she still tried to fight me for my car, the fucking whore. Yeah, no, that just wouldn't go over well at all.
Well, if you did the right accents, it probably could.
What accents would I use for that?
Hey, Scott, can I take your cardigan?
The funniest stuff are the stuff that happens that's personal.
Right.
But that's hard to
you see,
share.
Yeah.
Because it's personal. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, like me and having my belly button stolen in the last month. God damn it, Lady of the Lake, I want my fucking belly button back, you bastards. You know.
No more belly button for Scott.
No more belly button for me. It's so fucked up. Why would somebody steal your belly button? Oh my God, you sent me a message. What did you send me? Why did you send me a Google search of the Richardson hat?
I sent that like an hour ago, dude.
I just noticed it. I'm pulling it up now. Really?
Mate.
Really?
And then he logs off. Then he leaves the group chat.
Really? Really?
Richardson Trucker Snapback Hats.
Right on.
$5.99 alldayshirts.com.
Really? Hoey? Really? Hoey. They make really good hats. Yeah. Yeah, that looks like a $1 hat from China. You're right. It's great quality. Yeah.
And you can even customize your Richardson hat.
What? This is ridiculous. Yeah. Don't send me anything anymore, please, because my brain can't take it. I mean, like my brain capacity only has so much. And then you send me stuff
so don't
like
send you the rest of the payment for the hats or the
well, no, not for the hats. Because if I order these hats, just go ahead and bury me.
All right. So don't send the rest of the PayPal payment for the shirts.
I didn't say, no, I said stop sending me Google searches of weird shit. Oh, here's one with Lincoln Electric on it. I could sport my favorite welding machine with this Richardson hat. This is amazing.
What if you make a hat that just says Richardson on the front? That way, when you're looking for your hat and you can't find it, you can ask people, has anybody seen my Richardson hat?
That sounds like something Hoey would actually do.
Has anybody seen my Richardson hat?
It's like a trucker hat, but it says Richardson on it.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
Hoey's not allowed to talk about hats anymore.
Yeah.
Baseball cap. There's another term.
Yeah,
It's a common one.
he says laughing his ass off. He's ordering one right now. Well, congratulations, sir. Just for that. Just for that.
Next time we do another show, he's gonna be wearing it.
This is just for you, Hoey.
First person to comment on it wins.
This is just for you.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Pro Football Coach Cord Carrier.
Mr. Pro Football Coach Car Carrier.
During high-pressure game situations, one man has to make the call, and another man has to follow him around like a dog with 200 feet of electrical cord.
You carry the cord.
You weave your way down the sidelines, passing linemen like they're standing still. Because they are.
Excuse me, Bubba.
One missed step, and you've got a tangled coach and a sharp blow to the head from a clipboard. But do you wear a helmet? No, sir.
No.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, Court guy, because the quarterback may be carrying the team, but you're carrying the team's cord.
Mr. Pro Football Coach Car Carrier.
Bud Light beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
That was clever. That last line was clever, man.
The cord carrier. Jesus.
That's awesome.
What a good day. I feel like this is a great way to end the night.
This is one of our normal shows, Julio. This goes on throughout the entire course of the show. So when you join these shows like this,
that's good stuff.
yeah, I mean, if you wanted to be on all of these shows, this is how it'd be on every show.
Yep.
Just crazy.
Gotcha.
We used to be like serious and stuff and like do news and stuff, but then, news was too depressing and retarded. So we kind of moved away from that.
Well, news is supposed to be on Fridays, but like he said, it was too depressing and retarded. So
yeah, we would read like AP articles and talk about it, and it was like, God, none of these people have any fucking common sense. Why are we even talking about it? Another person like drives off a cliff because of fucking Apple Maps or some stupid shit like that, and it's like, really? Like you couldn't see the road was going to end, and you just drove off the fucking cliff like an idiot, Yeah, no.
Or you had like certain situation where people would randomly shoot balloons in the sky.
Yeah, My most favorite thing, though, my most favorite news topic was when the Air Force was like, okay, there was all these balloons every fucking where at one point. And the Air Force is like, yeah, we shot down some UFOs over Canada. And it's like, UFO, right? Yeah, they were UFOs. We don't know what the fuck they were, and we don't know where they went. And that was it. Nobody said anything else. Yeah, it was just, okay. Everybody in the United States was like, all right, well, that's cool. And then they started talking about Dylan Mulvaney on a fucking Bud Light can. That was the most important thing. Not the UFOs, unidentified flying objects, which could have possibly been aliens by any chance. I mean, they could have been part of my family, people with no belly buttons or some shit. And you never know what they were.
Right.
And everybody was more worried about Dylan Mulvaney on a fucking Bud Light can.
Yes, they were.
That's the real crime that day.
Yep. Anyhow, Hoey says, this is Tuesday. I still like the news. Well, then he says, no, play the Notre Dame fan one. That's me.
I don't want to. You know what? You're weird anyway, so I don't want to, aggregate it any more than what it is. Yeah, Budweiser put Harley. Yeah, they're trying to get their clientele base back. That's why they're doing stuff like that. That's why Budweiser released that big-ass patriotic commercial for Memorial Day. They're trying to they've lost like billions of dollars worth of revenue because they don't know who they sell beer to.
Right. Their clientele is, it still is Harley Davidson motorcycle fans and truckers.
Yeah, exactly. Why would you go and take a transgender person and stick it on a beer can and go, this is the new Bud Light?
Right.
You just completely... I mean, I don't really give a shit what anybody does as far as cross-dressing or cutting their dick off or whatever the hell they want to do. That's on them. But at least if you're a company,
pay attention to your fucking clientele.
Yeah, that is true. Because I mean, people in the LGBT community are not gonna drink fucking Budweiser. But then again, I don't think anyone with any sort of taste buds are gonna drink Budweiser either. So, you know.
Cut your dick off.
Exactly. Well, yeah. Well, transgender men. I mean, or not men, women, or whatever you want to call them. I mean,
Right.
but you know, Hoey
like
says
Bud Light
Bud
has
Light
always
is a
been-
college kid beer. It's a fraternal type beer. It always has been.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
why they always came out with those clever little, funny commercials and shit like that made people laugh, because that's what it was designed to be.
Right.
And
Yeah.
this new head of
Yeah.
marketing just takes the beer. Oh, well, it needs to go in a different direction. Okay, well, apparently that means let's lose all of our money in her eyes. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's a good observation as well.
Right.
And
Because
it's-
money
I don't-
moves around a lot, you know?
personally, I don't care what anybody does.
Right.
Personally, I could care less what anybody does. Don't try to shove it in my face, though.
Yeah.
Oh, you're transphobic if you don't like a trans woman. No, I like a woman that was born a woman. I don't want a
Well,
man
the-
who decided to cut his dick off and turn it into a vagina.
I
Man.
mean, using that
Yeah.
logic, that's like saying if a white woman doesn't like Julio, that means that they're like Hispanic phobic.
Exactly.
afraid of
That's
they're
not
afraid of
what it
Latinos.
means. That's not what it means. That's just a preference.
Right.
You
That's
know?
my point. That's the whole joke.
Right.
That'd be
But
like
it is a
if
joke.
saying if Becky doesn't like me, that means they hate Indian people. Like, no, that's the same logic these LGBT types are using. It's like
it is. And
it's so like don't get me wrong, like I have no issues with what people want to do or people want to say whatever, or people want to live their life. But the weird part is when you have all these like weirdos trying to act like they're fucking dime pieces. Like, no, you're not. Just know your role and go away. Like, just-
exactly.
Right.
But
Yeah.
people are stupid.
Regardless, though, someone's bound to get their feelings hurt.
Well, that's
The whole comedy thing. I can't believe how everything's so censored and how like a lot of comedians have to walk on eggshells with what they say.
because they
And-
care about what people
Yeah.
think of them. That's why. Because they're
Yeah.
scared of being canceled. That's why people like Dave Chappelle cannot be canceled, because Dave Chappelle just does not give a shit. You can't cancel somebody that doesn't care.
Right.
And on his last comedy special, the one that everybody was all up in arms for, if you actually watch it and listen to what he said one of his closest friends was a transgender woman.
Right.
And
Yeah.
she used to open for him on several of his shows. He thought she was brilliant, absolutely hilarious. And because she supported him, her own community literally bashed her to the point of suicide.
Right.
And that's what he was doing. He was calling them out for that. And they wanted to
Right.
cancel him. You know what? Fuck you and your community if that's how you feel. You did
Right.
that to that
Yeah.
person. You should answer for it. Don't try to cancel somebody else because they get pissed off about it.
Yeah.
Right. One, there's that, and two, here's an open secret about the LGBT community. Not the original ones, but the ones that have co-opted it. A lot of them are racist as fuck.
Absolutely.
They're racist as fuck, and a lot of this, and not to bring this back on identity politics, but the same people who cried about like white privilege and all that and white male privilege are basically the same people pretending to be women or like not, or basically white guy. It's been hijacked by white males who are trying to say, "Hey, man, I'm oppressed too. I chopped my dick off, so now I'm a woman."
But who's
It's
the one?
not even
Where's the
true.
transgender men? They don't
Right.
complain. They don't cry. They're not whining about everything under the sun. Where are they at?
They
You don't
used to
even-
exist. Now they don't.
No. Oh yeah, they still are there. And I tell you what, it takes more guts to become a trans man, where you have to go through the surgery to have skin grafted to make a penis, which is extremely fucking painful.
Yeah.
And it's not as easy as just getting your dick chopped off. So I hate to tell you this, but I think a transgender man is more of a fucking woman than a fucking trans female. Period. They're tougher. They're tougher than most men, if you ask me for my honest opinion. But you don't hear them
Transgender
crying
men-
about it.
Emotionally,
Who?
You don't hear
Ecological.
them. Yeah, you don't. But you don't see them going on parades and acting like a bunch of fucking idiots in the middle of
No,
public
you
Right.
really
squares.
don't.
Right.
The ones who transitioned into men, yeah, they're very quiet and they're just like, whatever, let's live life.
Yeah,
It's
they
the
just
ones
live
that
their lives
transition
as a
into
guy, and
women
that's it. They don't,
Right.
they don't ask for all these extra privileges that these dumbass fucking men that want to be women do.
Right. It's
I feel like it
gross
goes
and
off
it's
the pride for-
hijacked the moment.
Yeah.
It's hijacked the movement. It's like, white liberal women hijacked the woke movement, and basically white men who wanted to become women hijacked the trans movement, the LGBT trans movement. So basically, people of color who are in those movements, sorry, you guys got fucked over by the people you protested against.
Exactly.
Chad and Becky fucked things up for you. That's what happened.
Chad and Becky.
Yeah, that's what happened. Chad and Becky said, "Fuck it, we're taking this shit. You guys are done."
I mean, it's ridiculous on so many levels. It really is
Right.
ridiculous. Don't call me a transphobic because I prefer a blood female.
Right. That's like I said. That goes back to the racism thing.
Exactly.
Julio, what
Don't
ethnicity are you
classify
exactly?
me because you don't know how to classify yourself.
Right. Julio, what ethnicity are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Huh?
Mexican.
Right. That's basically like a Becky, a Becky not wanting to date Julio, and then Julio saying, "Hey, that lady is that lady's
She's a Mexican hater.
Doesn't like Mexicans.
Yeah, she hates Mexicans.
Like she's racist toward Mexicans. She doesn't want to date Julio. I mean, we could go with that. Don't worry, we could go.
No,
with
I
that
know. It's
I'm just saying.
Julio is the type of
perception
guy.
gets distorted once
Yeah.
once somebody chooses
And
side.
and another thing is all they do is steal the essence of being a woman away from women. Like that latest movement about trying to relabel mothers as like a birth person. That literally steals the entire essence of a woman away from them.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
like
and
where are
Women
these
have a tough
women? Why
time.
aren't women
They-
fighting against shit like that?
yeah, the women's are the ones that are being victimized.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Hoey says, "Harsh, you said liberals. You said liberal. That's the issue. Well, don't sit there and say conservatives are helping the cause.
No, the
They're not doing a
conservatives
damn thing
are.
to help the cause either.
If anything, silence is not what's needed,
Right.
and that's what they're doing. They don't say anything.
Yeah. There's way too many conservatives that either enable this nonsense or take it lying down. They're not. They don't get to sit there and cry victim. No. I mean, that's a sad part. It's like you said it perfectly, Scott. It's like women are the ones being victimized the most by this nonsense,
Exactly.
and it's sticking up for them.
They steal the essence of being a woman from women by doing things like that. And women don't even say anything. And they should. They should speak out.
Yep.
I mean, they should be screaming on rooftops. Because, I mean, how are you going to sit there and take the right of being a mother away from a woman? That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work to have a child. It's a lot of work to raise that child. Why take that away from them? Or how can you even attempt to take that away from them?
Yeah.
And another thing for these trans women, how do you call yourself a woman whenever you don't even know the proper use of a fucking tampon and you'll never need one? Stop taking shit away from women like that. You want to call yourself a woman, fine, but stop acting like you actually are a woman.
I
Shit.
love Julio's face when he said that. I love how he's like, "Holy fuck."
Well, I mean,
Yeah, no, I mean, I couldn't agree more. I feel like a lot of women are afraid to be feminine because of all the predators that are that exist. I mean, you can't look at a woman for her feminine. Women nowadays, I feel like can't express themselves in a feminine way because otherwise they'll be victimized.
Exactly. That is 100%
That's
correct.
about the world today.
That's 100% correct. And you cannot say how you feel without somebody getting offended over it.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
the sad part is the people who get offended over it are the ones who should be agreeing with you the most because that's what they claim to fight about, but they don't.
you know what? My feelings are my feelings. If you don't fucking like it, you don't have to talk to me. You can be offended over it, but now I really don't give a shit what your fucking feelings are.
Right. But my point being is they're such fucking hypocrites. They don't even understand what they should be offended by. Is what
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Double standard hypocrites.
Right.
Right. Wow. You pegged that right on the head, Mr. Julio.
Yes.
Good job.
And I get that as a song title, but I haven't gotten around to writing the lyrics.
What pegged in the
You
head?
know the funny part about all this? As someone who wasn't from an Eastern, who lived in, in India and other Eastern countries, people in the East are looking at what's happening like Western, in Western countries with this LGBT stuff. And
it's
most of us are either wondering what the fuck is wrong with these people, or we're just laughing our asses off.
Yeah, it's a joke to them.
Right.
As it should be. Yeah.
I'm tired of
including to the degree that people are entertaining such ridiculous nonsense.
You know what?
Right.
If you're upset about not being included or not having inclusiveness when it comes to those types of situations, then guess what? Be normal. Stop acting retarded. Yeah. And then you will be included. If you want to dress like a woman, act like you're a guy that's a woman, or whatever the fuck you want to do, and put yourself in there. That's what inclusion is. You can include yourself.
Yeah.
You don't need to scream all of this ridiculous shit and try to take shit away from other people. Yeah. It's not that hard to do. I could be blue.
People that walk the talk but don't, what is it?
Walk the talk
but don't walk the walk.
Yeah. They talk the talk but don't walk the walk. That's exactly right.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit. I mean, stop.
Yeah.
I mean, look,
nobody really gives a shit.
Yeah, but you see, the thing is the American people speak out, but they do it silently. They do it as a monetary way to do it. They don't get on the rooftops and scream about how they feel, or they don't want this or don't want that or whatever. What they do is they basically alienate a company when they fuck up. Budweiser's a good example. They lost billions of dollars in revenue. Nobody really complained. I mean, there was a few of them, like Kid Rock being retarded and going out there with a gun and shooting a bunch of cases of beer like a fucking idiot. I mean, that really didn't make any sense to me, but okay, you do you. That's fine. But the silent majority spoke, and their money went away. Same thing happened with Victoria's Secret, whenever they wanted to have transgender models. Their money went away. That really wasn't even the story either. They had to go back to the angels and all that other shit. And they did it silently because they realized they started losing money. Yeah. Go woke, go broke. And that's but that's the thing. That's the thing. These people do it in a way of the pocketbook. You can't do that. You need to get in the media and actually speak how you feel.
Yeah.
I mean, you can
bankrupting a company.
Yeah, you can bankrupt as many companies as you want. Unless you actually speak out, it's going to continue.
Right.
Yeah.
When is too far, too far?
Too far is too far.
Yeah.
Right.
It's already there. It's already gone too far.
Right.
Yeah.
And that needs to be reiterated that, hey, this is too far. This is enough. Most of the world is laughing at us. The global South is laughing at Western cultures. The Easterners are laughing at the West.
Yeah. I'll give you a good example. Recently in a small town here in Louisiana called New Roads, Louisiana, which is a traditionally very, very conservative area that doesn't like weird things that are outside of the scope of Christianity. And I'll just put it that way. These people are set in their ways. They've been like that for the last 200 years. And a jackass that owned a cafe down there, and yes, I'm going to say a jackass because she knew what she was doing and she knew what was going to happen to her, decided she was going to have a cross-dress brunch or whatever you call that, one of those transgender brunches or whatever, at her little bistro in New Roads. Well, it made the news because the community was like, no, you're not going to do this. You knew what you were doing whenever you decided to do that in a community like that. You wanted your 15 minutes of fame. So what happens is on the day that this event's supposed to happen, the building owner shut off the air conditioning to the cafe that she owned. And then perfectly
Holy
within his
shit.
legal rights, the day afterwards, he went up a substantial amount on her rent, essentially shutting her completely down. Guess what? You're in a conservative area. Those people down there don't like stupid shit like transgender brunches. You knew what you were doing whenever you decided to do that. Your business loss is your fault.
Yeah.
Right. And speaking of the transgender community and all that, I used to remember way back in the day, LGBT, especially the transgender communities, they didn't give a fuck about like who was around them. They were just like, hey, let's be here to party. The more raunchy, the more adultish, the better. But I don't remember any of them like begging anyone back in the day to be like, hey, I want to entertain your children.
Yeah,
now,
what's up with that?
Now because it's co-opted, pussy hatter nonsense, it seems like you have more and more of these like drag queens. Like, I want to read in front of your kids when years ago that was never even a thought.
Well, I
mean the whole thing is just gross, and I think a lot of these movements have been co-opted.
If you want to dress up like a woman and dress up like a modest woman, like a normal one that you see walking the street every day and read to children, that's fine. I don't give a shit about that. But to do it half naked like these dumbasses like to do, or have these little dancing shows half naked in front of a bunch of children, I'm sorry, you're a pedophile. You're a pedophile. You're a cross-dressing pedophile at that point. And your parents, parents that take those kids there, guess what? You're a pedophile too. Right. Because you're encouraging that behavior.
Right. Now there's too bad there's people at the pallet fort that don't seem to understand these simple concepts. But
you had to mention those weirdos, didn't you?
That's a very bad thing, Harsh. Don't ever do that again.
But the harsh reality of it is, unfortunately, too many people are like them. They don't seem to understand it.
It's straight up pedophilia at that point. If you bring your child to a gay pride parade where there's half naked men or naked men walking down the street and you're okay with your kids seeing that, the people walking down the street are pedophiles and so are you.
Right.
You can't say that you're trying to raise your kid correctly and then subject them to things like that. I'm sorry.
What's so crazy about all this? When I was growing up, as a teenager, like 20 plus years ago, my parents made it such a big deal to enter a bar before you turn 21. And then nowadays, because it's LGBTQ or whatever, you can take your kid to a gay bar and no one seems to give a fuck. It's like, horrible. How about stop taking your
It's horrible.
How about stop taking your kid to the fucking bar? With that logic, Scott, you should have been taking Junior to the strip club when you were, when he was a kid or something.
I can promise you it would have been all women on that stage, though, sir.
Exactly. That's what it should have been if that's the case. It's weird. It's weird how in 20 fucking years.
I'm sorry, strip clubs
It's weird how in 20 fucking years it went from my parents or people like my parents saying, hey, no, you're not going to a bar unless you're 21, to, hey, let's take the kid to a drag show. It's Pride Night. Come on. It's like, what the fuck happened?
What is wrong with you people? That's what I want to know.
What's weird is seeing the public bathrooms have their own identification of that.
Yeah. I'm sorry if I had a little girl and I sent them into a bathroom, me being a male, I'm not going to go in that bathroom. And I swear to God, if I see a cross-dressing male walk into that bathroom behind my little girl, I can promise you he's not going to walk out of that bathroom.
Right.
I'm sorry. You can be mad at me all you want, but if you still have a dick between your legs, you have no business in a fucking woman's bathroom.
Right.
Plain and simple. I don't care what you identify as. Same thing with the women, the trans men. If you have a vagina between your legs, go to the women's bathroom. I don't want you in my bathroom. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah. That makes sense why a lot of people do like homeschooling and to just avoid that type of influence on the children, on their children.
I mean, I'm all for, whatever identification you want to be, but I mean, come on, use some common sense behind it.
Right.
That's all I ask. Use common sense. If you still are swinging a twig and berries, you don't need to be in a women's bathroom, dude. Sorry, you're still a guy.
If you can use a stall, use the men's bathroom.
Exactly.
If you can't use the stall, use the women's bathroom.
Exactly. If you've had the full transition and you have to sit down to pee, then by all means go in that women's bathroom because you have a vagina. It may be a non-functional one, but you still have one.
Right.
I mean, you don't need to be in there. Yeah, these people, just stop. Just stop. Just stop. And if I was
I
single,
like the traditional approach that Harsh's parents took with
but you see,
I
that's
guess,
the thing, Julio.
censoring,
That is lost. That is lost.
Right.
Yeah.
That is lost on today's society. People don't raise their children like that anymore.
No.
Harsh was raised, even though he's a little younger than me. He's like on the borderline millennial side. He's what's called an elder millennial. So he grew up a lot like we did, us Generation Xers. He was one of the last few that they got kicked out of the house during the day and was told to come back home when the lights came on. Outside,
right. Now, don't get me wrong. Were we able to sneak into bars or nightclubs?
Oh, absolutely.
Of course. But it wasn't like we were taken there as like 8, 9-year-olds. Like, hey, let's go to the club. No.
It was once we were in our
parents
teens.
assumed the responsibility of censoring, as best as they could. Because, I mean, if what you see, eventually at some point, you're going to get to that age and you're going to see reality for what it is, So,
absolutely.
But the fact that wait until that age, I mean, the rule is in place for a reason.
Absolutely. I mean, it's
21.
Right. That age is there for a reason, but at the same time, when we were teenagers, we used to sneak in bars. We used to get drunk behind our parents' back. I'm not going to lie to anybody. My dad had a shed in the backyard that had like a cook shed to it. So, me and my friends used to set up back there and like camp outside. That's what we would call it. We were camping 15, 16 years old, drunk off our fucking asses because one of them raided his daddy's liquor cabinet before he came over. I mean, that was part of being a teenager back then.
Yeah, it was. And you just were as long as you weren't being as long as you weren't being Daniel Lousy about things, you were fine.
Absolutely. As long as you're not trying to stream to 14-year-olds on Facebook with no shirt on because you have no air conditioning in your fucking house.
As long as you're like, hey little one, you want a beer with me? You're not doing that. Okay.
My charges were amended, which means I'm not a pedophile. That's not how it works. They gave you a plea deal, dude. You're still a pedophile.
I tell you what, I tell you what's not Sonnier. You and that little brown mug be calling everyone pedophiles, even though they're not on the registry. Yeah, I tell you what, you need to stop doing that.
Just because you're not on the registry, that just means you haven't been caught. That doesn't mean you're not.
You
that
all
just means you haven't been
impersonate
caught.
me touching my daughter. You all impersonate me touching my daughter. Yeah, ain't that gross? I just touched her a few times. That don't make me no pedophile. I'll just abuse her to the point where she overdosed on fentanyl, but that don't make me no pedophile. That don't make me no rapist.
I'm sorry, but it does.
Penis pile.
I'm sorry, buddy. It does. I don't care how you look at it. It still does. You touch a child once, you're always a pedophile. It doesn't change.
Oh, man. William, oh, God.
It does not and will not change.
I don't even know where we go from here.
I don't know. I'm just making sure everything's in my bag so I don't die tonight by accident.
Yeah, 2 hour and 34-minute mark upon.
Well, I mean, it's been long enough. What the hell was that? Who's messaging me? Stop messaging me, whoever you are.
Yeah, I tell you what, it's not so gay. You think you a big man with your fancy technology? You ain't shit. You did that. Yeah, you Howard Stern wannabe.
Howard, yeah, I still don't get that. Why? Just because I have a good voice, I'm supposed to be like Howard Stern? Is that how that works?
You Rush
I don't
Limbaugh
understand that.
wannabe. You just spewing all that nonsense. And you don't know what you're talking about 5G. 5G killed my daughter.
That was the dumbest thing. Okay, for anybody who thinks that 5G is going to kill you, let me explain to you what 5G actually is. It's a frequency, and it's transmitted using non-ionizing radiation. But that frequency doesn't travel far, so they have to put up a lot of towers to make it work, to bring you fast internet for your phone. It's not going to fucking kill you, you idiot. It is a technological advancement. That's all it is. And if 5G was going to kill you when you had Wi-Fi with a 2.4 gigahertz network and a 5G network, guess what? That is 5G, you dumbass. And you've had it in your home for years.
Yeah, that 5G, it's not Sonnier. You lied about 5G. That 5G killed my daughter. It wasn't the fact that I abused her and humiliated her on live streams and drove her to overdose on fentanyl. No, it was a 5G. And I died of an aneurysm, even though there was no aneurysm detected in the autopsy.
She died of a fentanyl overdose.
Yes, unfortunately, she did. I mean, basically, the guy was such a piece of shit. He drove his own daughter to overdose on fentanyl. Jesus. You can't even make that up.
Okay, yeah, I know there's 47 flags on the door about radiation, but, that's if you're, like, having your head next to the fucking tower. It's like putting your head on the antenna itself. 3G, 4G, 2G would kill you if you did that. You know what I mean?
They think that randomly just one day when they take a phone call, they're just going to like pass out.
Yeah, that's what these people think that, oh, well, they're using 5G to spy on me. Okay, dude, I hate to tell you this. Like I said, the 5G network on your Wi-Fi is the same frequency. Yeah. I know you don't understand that, but guess what? 5G internet has been in your home for the last 10 years. If it was going to kill you, you'd be dead by now. I hate people like that. I swear to God, the government is watching me. The government's watching me through my phone. No, they're not. You're an everyday redneck that lives in a fucking trailer home. Nobody gives a shit what you're doing as far as the government is concerned, okay?
The thing that gets me is like a lot of people buy into like these theories, conspiracies and stuff and media news, but they never bother to go to the root of like the source, of the info. Go book a fucking plane ticket to Roswell, New Mexico and see it for yourself. Jump the fucking fence, Like,
yeah, get shot,
quit living with the idea of, is it possible? Is it true? Go find out for yourself. If you fucking want to believe, if you're somebody that really just questions about aliens if they exist, and I know that I'm speaking to myself. I know.
Well, no, you're not, because
go fucking investigate.
Okay, and
my time is coming, man. I just want to know the truth of what this is.
Julio, if you use sense and think about the universe as it is today,
right,
and the vastness of this universe and how many solar systems are out there, we are absolutely stupid to not realize that there has to be life somewhere else out there. Statistically, it would be impossible not to.
Right. Statistically speaking, it is virtually impossible that
one
solar system has one planet with life on it.
Exactly. With all of the billions, not millions, billions of other solar systems out there.
Right. Now, the question is, what do they look like?
Who knows?
What do they look like? How do they function? How are they like on a day-to-day basis?
How advanced they are. They could be more advanced than us. They could be behind us. They could be millions of years ahead of us. I mean, we don't know that.
Right. That's the stuff you want. That's the stuff. If your day is coming, you want to figure that out.
Right, but I mean, to sit there and say that there's nothing out there, like some people do, you're stupid. Because, like I said, mathematically, that's impossible. You know.
And
I won't
the
mention any
perception of it
names,
too.
but they used to contribute to this show a long time ago.
I think that was an alien, to be honest with you.
No, that used to say that there's only one life on this planet,
Oh,
and
God,
why are you
who was
worried
that?
about 100,000 light years away?
Who was that? I forgot. Did he eat raw garlic?
No, he
Oh.
didn't eat raw garlic, but
Okay,
he
so it
used to
wasn't that
yell
guy.
at. But this guy used to yell at the person who ate raw garlic from like 6 hours away.
Oh,
XHACD hat guy.
no.
Remember that guy?
No, he was in the Scandinavian region.
Oh, God. We've had so many weird guest hosts on this show
They really have.
in the past year. We used to have a guy, Julio, that would eat garlic like it was an apple.
Dang.
Like, just take a chomp out of garlic.
As a
And
snack? Like
yes. And now he's begging for money on Facebook, saying that if he doesn't get like $600 by some date or something like that, his lights are gonna, like he's no longer gonna be able to do his broadcast and stuff. This man has literally been posting the same live streams over and over again now for the last 2 years, and he posts them several times a day. And then he gets mad at Facebook because they block him and ban him for spam. And he's also a musician. And he has some of the scariest music on the face of the planet.
Oh, speaking of which,
Oh yeah, speaking of scary
speaking
music.
of what do you call it? Speaking
yeah,
of
there's the CD.
CD.
There's the infamous CD right there. That is Joe Charter. Fox Media. Or no, he changed the name. What is it now? Fart Media or something? I don't know what the fuck he calls it anymore. But
Oh no. Oh my god.
yeah, he's worried about suffering, but he changed the name of his entire company and doesn't realize, that could probably be a problem.
Dude, he was such a psycho. He blocked his own brother on Facebook. He blocked his own brother.
Oh my God, the song is no longer on Amazon. His album is gone. Let's see if I can find it on Spotify. In the meantime,
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real man of genius.
Today we salute you, Mr. Wedding Band guitar player.
Mr. Wedding Man guitar player.
Any guitar player can rock a packed stadium, but it takes real talent to keep the Wyszynski reception going all night long.
Mazel tov.
Perched on the stage in your undersized tuxedo, you tirelessly churn out tunes from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Keep on rocking.
Sound check? You don't need no stinking sound check.
No.
And even though you've never had groupies, you have bagged the occasional bridesmaid.
Never forget you.
So crack open an ice cold Bud Light, guitar guy, because every wedding you go to, you're the real best man.
Mr. Wedding Man guitar player.
Bud Light Beer, Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
I'm gonna look for. Hold on, I think I might have found it. All right, so let's see. Oh my God, you ought to see the background picture he has on Spotify now. Go on Spotify and just look up Joe Charter. That can't be the same guy. Hey, that's not him.
What's the
That
name of it?
can't. Joe Charter touched the moon. Is that him? What the hell kind of picture is that?
Joe
Hold on.
Charter touched the moon.
Yeah. Hang on a second. Let me see. Oh, yeah, that's him. That's him.
Times I catch myself crying about what I ain't got. That's the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joe Charter. And when the morning light shines, sometimes I'm still crying in my bed.
Okay. That is the guy that eats raw garlic like an apple.
I remember one time he was in a group chat and he was complaining about how he supported a group that supported white supremacy.
Yeah, that was funny.
He's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I supported a group that supports white supremacy." It's like, well, you are in Iowa. That tends to happen.
Dang. Like it was an accident?
Like he says it's an accident, but
Please hold. Your call is very important to us. I don't know why I have this in my... I have like all of these radio bumpers.
Yeah.
This is actually one of my radio bumpers. Opus number 1. It's hold music.
I like that music though, man. It's very ambient sounding. Yeah. I'll be wanting to sample that whenever it plays on the.
well, all I know, I'm setting just gonna look Scott's address up and then I'm gonna send that to him.
No. Stop it.
I haven't done something like this in a long time. I think last year I did do streaming for. I did some live streams for promoting music.
Baton Rouge.
You don't know the rest of my address though, so I'm safe.
Yes, I do.
Shit.
I got it.
Shit.
I'm send it to your studio tomorrow. First thing in the morning. Just send it to your studio. You're like, ah, damn it. I finally got it.
Watch it like show up and the USPS like sends it through like every worst wheel they got, so it's like in pieces by the time it gets here. And I would like open the box, and because it's Joe Charter, it would like reassembled itself like the fucking car from the Wraith.
Oh my god.
It would just like you open the box and look at it and go, yeah, man, it got destroyed. And about 10 minutes later, it's just sitting on your counter. Like shit. Like Annabelle from a Conjuring or some shit. You know, you can't destroy it. It just won't go away. Or you open it up and it starts acting like the box from Hellraiser, and all these ghouls show up and start trying to kill your family and shit. Yeah. No. Keep that CD up there in Chicago, please. Oh, god damn it. You're going to sit there and send me my own address, you piece of shit. That's all right. I can send you yours. You want me to send you yours instead?
Well, as long as I'm not, maybe later. You have my P.O. box. That's all that counts. Anyway.
Yeah, make it. I love the way he makes it where if I send something really bad, it'll come back to me. But no, mine is just like directly to the office door. That's even better for me. Just right here in the office.
Open the door and be like, hey, Scott, how you doing?
I'm going to make sure that Ring camera's working very well so I can see when that nail lady shows up.
I'm going to send you a nice gift basket.
Dude, if it's anything shaped like a CD, I'm going to call a bomb squad and have them remove it. I think it's a bomb. You might want to bring it out there and blow it up.
Oh.
And I would go live too, like to have like them bring the little robot to pick up the CD and, you know, like bring it out in the middle of a field and blow it up. You know, it would be a perfect video for the channel. For the YouTube channel. Blow up a Joe Charlie CD.
I'm so tempted to send that to you in a gift basket. So you won't even notice it's there until you open up the
like an Easter basket, like put it underneath the grass in the Easter basket and you go to throw it away. Man, this thing still has some weight. You take the grass out and like a Joe Charter CD. Holy shit! You know, yeah, no.
That's exactly how it was.
You can have the bomb squad come out here, blow it up. You go inside, and the fucking CD's sitting on the counter again. It's like, what the hell?
Now Hoey's saying, Harsh is gonna send the CD to Scott. LMAO PO box is way better. Live, send it.
Send it. PO box is way better. I agree with that. I'm gonna have to go to the post office tomorrow. Be like, stop all mail delivery to my office directly from now on. Send it to my house, or no, don't send it to my house. Never mind. Here, I'm gonna get a PO box. Just bypass the office altogether, please.
Oh
and if it looks like a gift
gonna...
basket, and if it's from Illinois, just go ahead and send it back. Just don't even let it go through.
You know what? I think I'm gonna send it first class.
First class, okay. Priority mail.
Yeah, priority mail.
Oh my God, I would have a stroke if I opened my mailbox and that Joe Charter CD was sitting in there. I'd be like, "You son of a bitch." The only good thing about it is I have absolutely no device in my home that plays CDs, so I'm good to go.
Right.
I don't even have an old computer with a DVD-ROM or anything like that. I ripped it out.
So your car doesn't play DVD. It doesn't play CDs.
My what?
Your car doesn't even have
no,
a CD
sir.
player?
My car does not play CDs at all. It doesn't. It's got a smart radio in it, so I mean, you just plug your phone in it and it does whatever, you know, like your maps and all that shit pop up on the screen. And
yeah, I'm so tempted to send that to you. I'm so tempted.
What's even more funny is that CD is unopened and it's archaic technology. Nobody can even play it anymore. It's like a relic now.
Yeah.
Oh, bro, we can make it. Look, we can do it like part of a scavenger hunt. Like if you find a Joe Charter CD, you get another like a clue or some shit to like a big reward or something. We can hide it like at some random place like in Texas, far away from my house.
We're going up with all these random ideas with this dumbass CD when we should be coming up with
he says,
ideas.
Send it, signature required. I'm
not
in my office.
All these ideas
hold on, Hoey. I'm only in my office for shows.
Yeah.
Send it for fuck's sakes, free Richardson. Nobody wants a fucking Richardson hat. Nobody even gives a shit about that, okay?
Now I'm gonna do that. Richardson hat, Joe Charter CD, and everything
Jesus
else.
Fucking Christ. No, sir. No, sir.
Like, I'm gonna get you a gift basket of all the things you hate, and you're gonna be like, "What the fuck is this?"
You know me better than that. I would laugh hysterically. I'd be like, "This motherfucking dickhead."
And I'm gonna get a bunch of Polynesian dolls too, just to like cap it off.
Jesus. I don't know why.
Real man of genius.
Yeah. How is it I come up with all these ideas to torment Scott, but yet we can't come up with any ideas how to promote Homegrown for the 29th of July?
We're at the 3-hour mark.
Yeah. Any ideas of how to Julio, you have any ideas how to do like any like contest or shows for Homegrown to like promote the event? Like any free ticket giveaways or something?
I'm gonna have to get back to you on that. I do have some ideas, but I gotta run them by Ace and Deuce.
Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Yeah. We were thinking of I was wanting to do set up in Westmont to do by the train tracks. Oh, across from Uptown, I think. Uptown, yeah.
Uptown,
that little guy bar. Yeah.
They're all pretty close to that place.
I wanted to take my speaker and some amps and just kind of do like a live, kind of like a busking gig, but live performance gig with coming up and then just promote to the public, because I know once the trains like during rush hour, it's like
perfect. that is actually a dope idea. We should do something like that.
Yeah. So I'll run that idea by them and see what they say, and
Yeah. Let me
Yeah,
know.
we could definitely have you guys out there too. We could set up like a tent, you know?
Yeah, we definitely could. That'd be a fun idea. That'd be a fun show for sure.
Yeah.
See, I would say something about something down here, but I always wind up running sound and actually having to work the event. So it never works out the way I want it to. You know, it's like, I'm just going to record. No, you're running the entire event. Oh, okay. That's how it always works out for me.
That's why he doesn't want to come up here, because if they figured out his skill set, everyone, Aaron Williams and everyone else at Homegrown would have him running sounds.
Yeah. It sucks when you're the go-to guy and like you're the only resource that.
It's crazy. I mean, it could be. I could show up because I'll bring like one rack with me with like all my recording equipment in it, you know, and be like, I'm gonna record everything and I'm gonna post it on Facebook for you, free of charge, you know, whatever. And it's like, oh, well, you have the rest of your PA equipment with you, right? It's like, yeah. Okay, well, we'll pay you to run sound instead. Wait, no, that's not what I said I wanted to do. What's going on here? You know,
that at least they're paying you, you know, and you get to go home with some cash in your pocket.
Hoey says this is why they stole his belly button. Yes, because they just take advantage of me at every turn.
They do.
Use me and abuse me.
Jesus. Well, you was asking about the bumper music. That's what's playing in the background. I used to be a very good drummer back in the day.
And then he lost his belly button.
Then I lost my belly button.
Before he lost his belly button.
I actually still play. I just don't do it often, and it has to be something I want to do now. I don't just play, you know, for the hell of it. Whenever I was under contract, it was different, but I'm no longer. My contract's inactive, and I can do whatever the hell I want now. So screw them.
I'll have to send some music, run it by you. 'Cause right now I don't have a band, and I'm not looking to rush into getting into anything, but it would be nice if I could.
Oh no, I mean something like that. Like if you were to send me something and say, "Hey, could you lay down a track for this?" I'll absolutely do that. I don't mind doing stuff like that. You know,
Yeah.
But the way Warner used to work is that they would shop us, if that makes any sense. And what they would do is they would find like this up and coming artist that had say they were a jazz band or something like that. They would send out like tracks to 30 drummers that are under contract, and then they would pick the one that they liked the best, and then we would go into the studio and record it. You know, and it's just me. I'll lay down like. If I hear like 4 or 5 different beats in something, I'll send 4 different or 5 different tracks with all different beats, you know, with the same music against it. And then you could just pick and choose which one you like. And it would only be a sample track. But if you pick out, say, like if you say, well, I like number 3, then I'll record the whole song as number 3, you know.
Wow, I didn't even know that was a thing.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a thing. It's definitely a thing, but that's what the hired guns, that's what session musicians do. You know, we didn't get paid for what we wanted to play. We got paid for what they needed. So we'd get stuck with country and all kind of shit. You know, like the song that's playing in the background, that's something I wanted to do. It wasn't, and I have other stuff like that too. Here, I'll give you a good example here.
Man, that horn section is just doing it for me, man. They're fucking amazing.
Let's see. Like this right here. This is live, though. This is a Casey and the Sunshine Band song. It's a cover. I'm burning this last 2 minutes harsh, if you wonder.
This is good.
But this is the kind of music I like to play. I can play anything, but, you know, this is what I prefer.
I like how it's building up, like all the instrumental building up, like the rhythm.
Oh, it gets better. And I was pretty inebriated too when we recorded this.
Oh, I love how you came in. Flip, 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 flip. Just-
Do the things that we like to do. Do a little dance, make a little love. It's
We are at the 3-hour mark.
That's right. It's 11:11, and like Hoey says, it's God's time. It's time to get the hell out of here.
Yes,
I'm
it
tired
is.
anyway. Y'all have a
Me
great
too.
night. This has been another edition of the Crayola Sec Harsh Reality, the Tuesday show. We went over 3 hours tonight. What the hell is wrong with us? Anyway, we'll see you again this Friday. Well, actually, tomorrow night with Mr. Wesley Jaffray and the Half-Life Crisis. Actually, we're actually changing the branding on that. You might want to talk to Wesley about it. He decided he wanted to change the name of the show, which is perfectly
The
okay
shit
with
show?
me.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's his show, so he can do whatever he wants. But anyway, it's still
Right.
going to have Half-Life Crisis in the name. It's just going to be like the Shy Town Experience or something like that with the Half-Life Crisis.
Right.
So.
Anyway, it's been another edition of the Harsh Reality. This is Harshmet signing out. Remind all of you, the life is harsh, remember to live it. Take care, everyone. Have a great rest of your weekend. We thank musician, songwriter, artist, and the promoter Julio Venegas for joining us. And of course, we thank Bowser for himself, Scott Sonnier Sr. for holding down the ones and twos and playing all sorts of music. And sound clips. Take care, have a great rest of your week. And sometimes you got to color outside the lines.